Yeah, on the bench.
Get hit
and the serratus anterior, man.
And the
serratus anterior, your lower pecs as well, and a little bit of the outside of the lats.
Okay.
If you isolate it, as well as what did I superset with? These. So do you know the long handles? So it's like a regular black handle, but the string for the handle is super long. And the point is, it allows you to do these rowing motions without restricting the movement. So anyway, they're super long, and then I just basically reverse pull. And it's good for the trapezius, your rhomboids, your teres major, your teres minor, right? So just doing these upright. They're not upright rows. They're just sort of like, I don't even know what they're called.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
See, the thing is though, Sharif, the reason why I'm smirking is because I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just thinking in my head, you're hitting all these muscle groups, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go hit some pull-ups and push-ups at the outdoor gym.
My morning workout is accessory work. My afternoon workout is the real deal. The stuff that you're gonna do.
Like I'll be hitting like muscle-ups and stuff at the outdoor gym and stuff.
Fantastic. They work everything. That's the thing.
I love muscle-ups. But yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, shout out to Katina, man. This guy knows. Where is this guy, man?
Your belly is popping. I don't have a belly, jerk. Fluffy. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Neil? I'm getting dunked on. Sharif lost 90% of the audience. Keep on going, man. Keep on. Why, Fluffy? I can't talk about exercise. I think that it's a pretty good thing, man. You want to have money and you want to be fit, right? What's the point of having money and not being healthy?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
yeah, exactly.
Right? You gotta be
and then you know what they say? If you have no money and you're not fit, then it's SOL. Times are bad, man. Times are so.
All right, the big boys are in the house.
I don't know if that's that funny, but I think it's funny.
All right.
I was gonna say something here, but I totally forgot. The big boys are in the house. I don't know what Katina Man's doing it, but it's all right, man. We got this guy.
He's doing it live.
Prepared. Yeah,
bro.
he's doing it. He's doing it really live. That's for sure.
We're just waiting for the Katina Man to go over to the board. Yeah, there's no worries, Neil.
He's gonna be.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, guys. We're gonna send you over to Neil.
Are you sure? Are we ready?
Assassino said there, right? So. Here's the new chat. Look at people talking back.
What are the new chat?
Look at this, bro. Yeah, that's their chat right there. So
what are they saying?
Health is wealth, says Casey. That's what I want to hear, man. That's what I want to hear.
Think about what Steve.
No shirt day, Sharif. Get out of here, dude.
Think about what Steve Jobs said.
What did he say?
When he had all that money, it's like none of that mattered when he was laying on his deathbed.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The money stays here. It
doesn't go anywhere, man, with you. Yeah, so it doesn't go.
You gotta enjoy it here. Otherwise, it has no utility.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the pursuit, it's fun, but you know what they say as well, too, Sharif? Sometimes, and this is what I love, man. This is what I love as we ramble on a little bit. I think this is such a true saying, and it's the journey is more fun than the destination. I think so, man. Dude, listen, when I go on trips with the lads and everything, getting there is great. I mean, like, when you're there, it's a great time. But getting there is equally as fun if you're with the right group of people, man. I was literally playing.
I agree that.
I was playing trains and automobiles from Chicago. Like, the trip in Chicago was 10 out of 10. But I had as much fun getting back to the city as I did on that trip.
Hold on. Can you be as honest as you can be? Toronto, Chicago, who wins? They're very similar, like in size-wise.
They're very. See, the thing is, though, size-wise they're similar, but I think they're extremely different. I'm gonna have to give love to my city, but I love Chicago as well too, just because of the river that rolls through is fantastic, and they're developed. I think it's just a little bit more developed in Chicago, to be honest.
Just dunked on the Don River, by the way. You just dunked on the Rouge River. You just dunked on the Humber River.
Yeah, but
that's dunked on all our rivers.
But that river that goes through
Those are 3 rivers.
Yeah, but there's like what? You got houses there, bro. It's not like you have nice places like the Trump Towers and hotels in those neck of the woods, right? And I didn't go over to that area, but like apparently the lakefront is a lot more developed.
It is.
Like, dude,
that's
like
fact.
I haven't walked the full Chicago, but they have like Chicago's like 2 levels, right? Like, you know, they have like the underground like highway, like roadway there, and there's stuff on top. It's like 2
They
levels.
have the elevated train as
Yeah,
well.
like, dude, if I really wanted to, I wake up in the morning, I could walk the whole core of this, you can walk the whole core of the city in the span of a couple hours here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like, you know what I
agree
mean?
with
You
that,
can go
yeah.
to everything. I don't know if
So you're
that's
saying the
necessarily the
downtown
case.
core is bigger than our downtown?
I think it's a little bit bigger. The
I
layout
would
is
agree with
different,
that.
right?
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good chat. You see that? We got
Yeah,
5 and a quarter
well,
in the bag
I always
there.
say this Katina, man. Like,
5
I
and a
mean,
quarter in
hey,
the
man,
bag
you know
there.
what it is. You know what
All
it
right,
is.
guys. Knicks or Spurs, by the way?
Spurs.
The whole Katina man says this guy. All right, guys. We're overtime. We're
See,
seeing these
I
big
gave
boys.
Katina Man a pass too because I know Vegas was gonna win the cup. I was just like, I don't really want to.
Oh, he
You know what
wants to
I
go
mean?
back
Like that.
down
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
road.
I was just like,
He's
man,
going back
I don't want to
down
just
that road.
continuously do this to my boys. So no, it's not about the confidence, man. I just was so sure that I didn't need to make the bet.
All right. All right, guys. Been great.
Yeah.
See everybody soon. Take care.
Always having fun. Although I'm just, to take it back 10 minutes because she's right in front of me right now. You can't just call somebody a snitch. That is not an accusation that you should be throwing around lightly. Calling somebody a snitch. I'm just saying, like, if you throw that one out there, like, you better be real with it, because I see the look on Ramin's face. I see the look on Ramin's face when you throw that down there. That might come back at you. That might come back. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. She's got that that laugh. You know the laugh where it's like it's fun. We laughing, right? But there's that look that you know you could have a problem there. It's that's not that easy laugh. That's that laugh that could be a bit of a problem. But you know what's not a problem, everybody? The updates that we're seeing out of Orogenics. OGEN over on the NYSE American. The company has activated its phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Orogenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. I want to shout out to OGen sponsoring this hour of the show, everybody. And no, we're obviously just having fun. And Mint Cornetto, I wasn't going to bring up VCIG. You brought up VCIG. I have no idea what's even going on with that stock. But you know what? Maybe VCIG tried to go today. I don't know. Did it? Did it try to break out? Did it try to break out today, I suppose? I'm not hating on the stock, but that looks like a bit of a false break. Kind of had a decent one yesterday, but you got to be careful with those. This can ultimately be pretty dangerous. And when you think about it, one of the most expensive lessons that traders and breakout traders might learn is really that every breakout trade, it's just not the same. You know, the stock's going to push through resists, like we see many times. It looks perfect. You buy it, and immediately it reverses and stops you out. So it's not bad luck. Really, it's not. It's just a fake out. It's a fake breakout. And there's a specific lesson that you can learn as to why it fooled you. And the one thing, one filter that separates a real breakout from a trap, and a lot of traders never check it before they jump in there and buy. Now, what Sean wants to do for you right up here is show you what you need to know so that at least 80% of false breakouts before you enter the trade can be identified. It just takes a couple seconds to apply it, and Sean's going to lead you right through that idea.
All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Neil. This is how to spot real breakouts and dodge some traps. There's a few very simple methods you can use and implement into your trading to avoid these traps. And I mean, it's pretty simple. We're going to go over some examples right after this slide right now. But you want to check and make sure there's actually past resistance levels sitting there, either on the support side or the resistance side. If you're looking short, you want to make sure there's a shelf that's about to break. And the same way on the top side, make sure that there's been some sort of a resistance that we're breaking through. So that's the first one. Make sure that you have a breakout signature. We're going to show that with volume. We're going to do that very, very soon. And then there's the volume profile as well. well. You want to make sure, and we have here about 1.2 times your average volume. You need even a little bit more than that. That's where that trap gets all set up right there. So it's going to be volume, there's going to be something to look for, and that's going to be the sector, and then these resistance levels. And here it is right here. You get that price alert. And we're going to show you how to identify that. Then you check out the volume, and then you say, hey, let's go ahead, execute our trade, make sure we have a stop in there so that if it's not a true breakout, we're able to get out of those trades immediately. I have two examples for you right now. One of them is going to be DraftKings. This is going to be the fake, and then this is going to be the take. And this one actually doesn't show it on here, but it's SMCI. Not that it really matters, but I'm going to get over the sector and why that might be something you're looking for. So here's DraftKings right now, and as you can see, this is that sort of line of resistance that we're talking about. It goes all the way back to February. That's when we had a bad quarter. We dropped to the downside right there, and now we say we don't really want to go long until we break back out. So remember, this is on breakouts and trading the breakout. So we just draw a line over there and look, of course, you can't find the breakout and a good shelf or a good top until you actually have a few data points, right? So we mark those down. So this is what we're looking to break. That mark actually lines up here. It's 2650. It lines up back in the middle of March. Then we get a drop down. So no breakout here. And then you say, oh, here we go. We're starting to ramp up. There's the 50-period moving average. We're starting to break through right now. So there's the breakout, right? But if you look on here, this volume is actually not followed up. The next couple of days, there's no volume to help push this breakout through the level. And you get top wicks here and a closing underneath the wick and the value of the breakout. So right there, you wick higher intraday or pre-market, but look where you close under, followed by low volume. All right, well, let's try it again. Well, here's the breakout again, right? Oh, it's going one more time. A couple weeks later, it's breaking that 2650. But the problem here is, look at that, followed up by no volume again and a close underneath our key resistance level. So not only are you closing underneath, but then no follow through. So lack of volume on both of these plays. You get the key level, that's a check, but you don't have the volume in the extension the next couple days. But what's that magical thing we talk about? And that is, are you in the right sector? Is it the right time to make this trade? Well, DraftKings, not much talk about them right now. We're waiting for actionable ideas. DraftKings not in the right space. This is SMCI. So what we know about right now is semiconductors have been pretty hot, and we can see the reaction here to the stock getting lifted. So we're in the right sector. All right, well, what about the resistance levels? Well, here you go. Here's a level that we get all the way back to November, and what happens is it ticks up right there again and gives us that thing where if we don't break through 36, maybe we don't have anything. But guess what? This is actually followed up by another key level, and that is your 200-period moving average. That's this green line. So this is a perfect breakout scenario because the 200-period moving average actually aligns perfectly with the breakout levels. So we get a key resistance level with a key technical indicator that we look at, plus the right sector, and look what winds up happening. Look at the volume here. This little red volume candle that you might be able to see here is that little candle right there, the day after the breakout. Notice, when we break out on this candle, it closes higher. The very next day, we have a red candle with very small volume. Then, boom, volume picks up, and there's the escalation through your key levels. So that's what we're talking about here. It's breakouts. You need to have a few things, and that is what sector it is in. Is DraftKings in the right one? Is there enough talk about it right now? Is the semis hot right now? So we got that. Then we have a breakout followed by volume. We don't have it here, and we have it over there. Plus, we have a very, very key technical indicator that we watch. That's your 200-period moving average. I hope some of these checks now are part of your checks and balances, and you can hit these breakout trades.
Exactly, because the real breakouts are going to earn those entries, and the fake ones are going to test your ability to have discipline. Great analysis there from my man Sean, and it's like that's such a tried and true strategy, the breakout trade. And I think a lot of people, and we're being real, like a lot of people start with breakouts. It's like the first thing they might do, whether you're swing trade, you could be, I don't care if you're day trading or swing trading, like the concept's actually pretty similar between the two. And it really just comes down to, it's so binary. Like there's no, like you see the clear level, you break at that level, hopefully there's some momentum behind it, but you know, it's so important that you have some discipline when talking about it for sure. And ooh, Randy's favorite, We have more guests. It's not just Randy up in here, by the way, anymore.
What's Randy doing?
No, it's not just Randy, like, because Randy's been joined by a few others around us, right? So you might see more people walking around.
Randy.
As there's Randy in the absolute dark. But
there's
Randy,
Randy.
your Rivian's holding well
Randy,
today.
go home.
He's not going home yet.
Why not?
He's too. Well, if he goes home, who's gonna keep buying Rivian?
He doesn't have any Rivian shares, I don't think. He's waiting for the dip. Remember, waiting for the dip on Rivian.
He's still he says he's holding. Well, somebody's buying it today, Randy. If it's not you, it's somebody else. No, it's actually one of the. It's actually one of the stocks which, realistically, if you look at a break this morning, it was pretty clean, and it's showing a lot of relative strength. Like, you look at it, it's almost at the highs. The Qs are actually rolling over at VWAP as we speak, so heading lower. The NASDAQ and the ES, both looking weak. Actually, the ES is worse. So if you look at the SPY, it's like double down what the NASDAQ is here. But they're still rejecting VWAP. Bitcoin still's trash. The IPO sucked. I didn't take it, but it sucked anyways if you took that one. It wasn't very big, so it never crossed that billion threshold. If you took the open, I don't know. It's theoretically possible that you could have won if you took the open, but that was a nothing burger. Should have just taken the breakdown, but I decided to go for my walk. But the breakthrough 20, if you shorted it, would have been fantastic. I'm just back into IBIT. It's basically been like that short all day long. We've been reloading it in the afternoon. It's basically just like yesterday. Short it, hold it, short it every single pop. When it gives you some kind of a pop off the lows, then try to short those and hold to the bottom. So more of that, just a couple of days. It's been like 3 days in a row now. The bottom feels like it's going to be temporary 60K for this thing. I don't know where else it could be. And if we break that, then that 50 I've been waiting for all year could come into play. But I've been waiting for 50 for a very long time. Been patient about it.
Yeah, don't wait for 50. He might be in the club. Okay, shut up.
Bottle full of bub.
Send over there. All right. We're in the building. This is trading right here, man. Trading 101, basically. We could talk about VWAP until our face is blue, but you got to make money trading VWAP, and that's what I'm trying to do right there. There's VWAP. Bang, alpha trends. Bang, alpha trends. Shout out to Brian Shannon. Nailed Google today. Absolutely nailed it. Yesterday was a tough trade. Today, no, man. Yesterday we just were not patient enough. Today, at least we were pretty patient. Not patient the first fill. Patient after that. Made it. Patient zero. Bang to the downside. That's Google. $7 right there for those wins. And then here it is again, man. Live trading. Real time as you sit there and watch the midday show. Great show over there. But the minute I'm in this desk, it's trading mode for me. Right there, 362 VWAP, bang to the downside. And we actually did a pretty good job of trying to hold on to a few shares here right now as we prepared that breakout lesson for you. Did you guys like that lesson on breakouts? I hope you did. I want a big shout out to Ramin for helping us with some of those graphics and getting those going. And, we're putting that down on purpose for everybody there. I'm hearing something.
The heartbeat?
Did you just hear that heartbeat?
Oh, that's an actual.
You okay over there, my guy? Okay, so. Okay, good. Oh, I'm in trading mode. That's why he's in the heartbeats. Yeah. And I was actually talking that to one, and I was saying that, as traders start to learn how to trade, it is a good thing, obviously, to go into simulation mode because, you never know what lessons you can learn when you don't have real money out there. Obviously, I'll speak sometimes different than others, but I don't think you really learn anything until you've got some real skin in the game, right? So we're trying to do that here today and every day, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm lucky that I have a bigger stop, so don't really have to worry about sim mode, but trust me, I've lost enough money that maybe I should be in sim mode some days. So, on hand to whoever there, that's the honest truth. But here comes Google right now, $2.50 in the money as that's starting to go in right now. So, that's the heartbeat of Joey getting chased by Ramin. Yeah, that was a funny one over there. As people were called. Oh, there it is. I hear it again coming through. But so that's Google. We'll look to trade some more here today as it goes. Yeah, just looking for this. I mean, we did this yesterday when we followed Google to the downside, which was actually a quite crazy trade in the afternoon. Still the same short with Google, and it just goes back to like doing something that you're comfortable with. So, we put a bid there, we get filled, but it's this 25 period and this 200 period that I want to watch now, right? A sloping down 50, sloping down. So we are getting some momentum there, but if it does break higher, I want to make sure that I put that stop in. And just so you guys know, our stop was 62, whatever this was, 40s. So, you know, we're well into it now. We have more risk than reward on this. Our R/R is obviously greater than 2 or 3 to 1 right now. So, you know, well worth it. Let's put in that stop just for 50% or so of what we have up there at 360, just in case it breaks. And we have this key, Neil and I, that we can adjust what down here. If it's 50%, 25%, 75%. So for me, I'll get out of half if we break here 360, and then, you know, still watch out for this 50%, 50-period moving average. And I'm going to throw it back to Neil, but I'm already out of half of what I have. So I just wanted to say that, and then we'll push enter now, and we'll see if it wants to float down. That just bounced off 359, so I'm going to put another bid down there. And we're hearing, I mean, I thought when I first sat down, I haven't heard anything since, but maybe more Iran news. Oh, here it is.
Now I heard.
Iran's 4 minutes. So I just see it in I see it in Bloomberg here, or in our Benzinga platform. Iran's foreign minister says the sides are studying the texts that were exchanged.
Two sides are studying the text that works.
Oh, there you go. You have it up.
You got to study those texts.
Yeah, I mean, always do some kind of studying, I guess. I haven't studied for anything in a minute, and hopefully I never will have to. I mean, studying charts, studying things like that, but
yeah.
I don't think I could go back to school now, not with my lifestyle and how busy we are. It's I couldn't. I don't think I'd be motivated.
Hats out to people that have pulled it off. Like, my mom went back to school. She wanted to do like early childhood.
Amazing.
Like she was like a
How
mortgage
old?
broker. Oh shoot! So we were in second year. I'm trying to.
It doesn't matter exactly.
Yeah,
bro.
it would have been like late.
Yeah,
40s,
so that's
late
amazing.
50s.
To
Yeah,
do that with 2 kids.
It was amazing, and so like we were in university at the time. Like, that was perfect. We had both moved out, so that's the
she had
time
extra
that
time.
She went to do it because she wanted to change careers. At the end of her career, she wanted to work with kids with special needs as an assistant. So like, you needed to have you needed to have a degree for that. What's up, Randy?
Nice.
You're just chilling now. See, Randy can come by more often because it's a shorter walk. Excellent. Yes, energy. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. There's XOM.
What a week it's had.
Don't jinx. Well, here we go. Off
It's
the
up a couple percentage points this week.
Look at the support. XOM finds the support. It's been 145 to 150 where it's bounced almost every single time. You look at that bad boy, you look at what's going on. Obviously, USO going up is oil prices going up is going to help. And then you look at CVX as well. Same thing. Where was the support? It just keeps bouncing off the same levels, 180, 180, 180. And this sucker did it at 140 for a while. Like, it used to be like the 140 area. Well, way back here was the 140 area over and over and over again. And that was the long, oh no, but it's trash because it's just consolidating really, really long 2 or 3 year consolidation. And then when it started to go, bye. So energies look pretty good. What else we got going on here, everybody? What else is moving? There's some small cappers going. The market's still kind of weak. Tonight, this is what I was going to say. Yeah, you know what? We talk about, I mean, the market's looking weak. It talked about like trimming things and things that are top heavy. Well, who knew? Apparently ARM didn't have any trouble at all with the 400 level after all. Blew right through that sucker. Now up at 412, so whatever, man. The market continues to trend down. NVIDIA looked like all this stuff looked weak. You know, yeah, we might roll back into the lows, favoring shorts today, and then blasting higher. So ARM's now up 2.5%, but
I have to tell everybody I exited out
this is
of the
what it
majority of my ARM today, so I only have probably about
had to take that.
probably about 30-35% left. I mean, we are long at 201 as a trade. This was never meant to be anything really more than that, and you know, we just bought ARM. You know, very vocal, very present here on the show, and told everybody that we got it at 201 right there, and it was not even that long ago, and upside now. And when I'm getting, you know, this kind of, you know, exuberance on stocks, I'm going to take some out. So I'm out of. I'm going to look again. Maybe I have a third left, maybe 25%. I want to get exact, and I'll tell you. But yeah, out another piece of ARM right there. We got some out at 297 or so for 50% gain, and now we'll go 100% and get out of some ARM. And then the reason why is that like you have other names, and I haven't put the money to work yet. I do think that there's a little bit of a collapse coming. So you know, I'm waiting for Amazon. Amazon's at a buy level right now. Would I rather own Amazon at 250 or ARM at 415? I mean, it's probably easier for me to wrap my head around Amazon. You know, I'm in a position now.
Or Google,
thankfully,
or
you know, thankfully in my life right now that we've done really well, being able to trade, you know, holding these shares for very, very many years, and it's just like trying to do capital preservation now, which is kind of awesome to be able to do that. And, you know, just get into that position where we still want to have some stuff for swing trading. I mean, you know, I did get out of, oh yeah, by the way, I told you today as well, got out of more Marvell today at 316. We did that live on air as well. So just, you know, I looked down, and when you're in the, like, this trade is I think it was 450% in the money or something. You know, we first started buying this with you guys live on the show at $60. You know, and so when it goes up to 340, 350, and it's in a tax-free savings account, I'm gonna milk that as much as I can. So that's like, you know, out of Marvell there, and now we'll wait. I don't have no problem reloading this thing if it comes back in, but I'd feel silly, right? And I have obviously 2 accounts, like many do, like long-term and short-term, and everything that Neil and I talk about is what we're doing ourselves. It's not necessarily advice that we're giving to everybody else, but you know, for me, getting out of some of that, and we learned our lesson. It wasn't even that much of a lesson, but you know, being long Palantir sub $10, sub $15 for a while, and then watching it run to 2 bills, like that was quite the experience. So, you know, just seeing that again for a Marvell, for even a name like ARM, which I'm not even in early, I'm in 3 weeks ago, just worth taking a little bit of profit and banking it. So that's what I did there, and I'm now trying to buy, like you were saying there, the Googles and the Amazons and the Apples of the world, and it's just, I've been really, then I'm getting too overloaded in those. So that's why I'm looking, and maybe today on those kind of sales, I will think about putting some money to work, you know, in a Johnson & Johnson and everything, because I really, you know, I like what they have. I like what they have on board and some of the new technologies and drugs in their pipeline, and the dividend and the steadiness of it, and the fact that healthcare is not loved right now. But like you, I think I like the 200 periods for a lot of names.
Well, I just find like it's, I just find the 200 period is, it keeps me like a little bit more based, which is actually a reason why. Like for myself in ARM, I still hold like the core position. I have all of it. Like everything that I bought at 200 is now gone. Like that buy, all of it's gone. But like the core position in ARM, I'll hang on to. But the reason I like the 200 period moving average is it gives you, I can't do Walmart, right? Because our chart doesn't have Walmart from. Walmart went from the NASDAQ to the New York, or sorry, the New York to the NASDAQ, and our chart's not going to do well. But I think a lot of times when you're looking at a stock in a really higher time frame, like if you have that, if the stock goes through that 50 period, it might be a pretty shallow pullback on Walmart. Like this one was only like $8, like it pulled back like 5%. It's like, oh come on, like that's not a dip. Like if you're looking to patiently get into something, and like you wait for the 200 period moving average, and that puts you on like maybe a once a quarter kind of idea. We are getting what the Qs are going here. What's going on with the Qs?
I don't know.
Yeah, so we just went through VWAP here on the Qs, maybe led by a little bit of NVIDIA. Nope. Well, that's about as distinct a nope as you can find when I pull up NVIDIA. Not happening. Meta's at the high of the day, but it's not like it's doing anything or moving. You're already in Google, so you would say something. Amazon, what else? Maybe it's going to be Apple. I should have gone to Apple before I went to Amazon, because I knew Amazon was weak. That's barely even getting off the schneid here. Apple, wherefore art thou? Apple at the lows and barely moving. So it's none of those things bringing it back higher. Well, I don't know if I'll go for we'll wait to see where this one curls. Because if we just continue to make these lower highs, I'll just look for the reload, scalp out, that kind of thing in IBIT. But something is bringing us to the upside. I forgot Tesla. How am I going to forget Tesla? Tesla's moving a little bit, but that's under VWAP, stronger than Apple and stronger than Amazon and stronger than Google, I suppose. Microsoft, that's just barely getting off those. It's not the mags. They're not doing much. Here, it's a bit more of a blast off in the Qs than any of the names I looked at, with maybe the exception of Tesla. How far are we going to go if the big boys don't play? So I think there'd be an opportunity to maybe reload some shorts. We still have like 90 minutes to go, plenty of time. And if there's a power hour run, fair enough. AMD, someone's saying. And we can loop through all these names. Oh, wow, AMD. AMD, man. That's about to hit 550. They don't necessarily stay down for all that long. Another all-time high, $550 in play. Maybe that means Intel finally caught a bid today. That was under some pressure. Yeah, like Intel reversed course. I know it's going to say Intel's up 4.5%, but it's been a sell all day long. Right? They just gapped up and then gave up most of the goes. But that's broken trend and looking a little bit stronger for sure. Yeah, so AMD, wow. That's super impressive. SanDisk was the most impressive stock though, that probably didn't get talked about today. Hits 18 hundo, 18, 7%, parabolic. I mean, this is the thing. Like you ring the I don't own this one, but like if I had it like I had ARM, I probably would have taken some out. And you're like, oh, what the heck? But if you hold on to a piece, you're playing with little house money. You know, and you do however you do it, you can't really lose. It's like Brian said on yesterday. Today's only Wednesday. It's like Brian said yesterday. Like it's only painful on the way back down if you don't have a plan. You know, like if you're not taking any profit on the way up, if there aren't levels that you're like, okay, I got to make sure I bank some here, I got to make sure if it breaks underneath here, I lock in some. You know, it's only nasty if it does the crazy reversal and you haven't realized anything, or maybe your plan is never to. You know, and you're going to retire with SanDisk. You know, to each their own. But like it's getting crazy. And just one thing before I go back to Sean, I see a comment here where it's like tech is getting, where is it?
Wrecked?
No. It was tech is becoming safety. That is never a good thing. You have to sort of remember.
It is a good
when
thing.
yields are going, you know, at the end of the day, if yields are super high, like you're going to chase growth, right? So the market's going to start chasing growth. And if the growth is all in one place, which it is, then that's what's going to go when we're sort of worried about the need to beat 3% inflation, right? Like this is just what's going to happen, and this is the place that they see it. And does it last forever? No, we get healthy corrections all the time.
Yeah, and I would just even say tech is actually safety right now. A lot of the big tech names because of the cash. There's so much cash that these guys have that I do understand that there's exuberance in the moves that they've had. There's no doubt about that. But I feel like if you're looking for, you know, some kind of a flight to safety, I mean, going to a company like a Google or even a Microsoft or an Apple or something like that, give me something else that's safer. Like these guys have that huge cash hoard. So as we mentioned, especially with rates where they are right now, sitting on a bunch of cash isn't necessarily a horrible thing to collect in. But I do get that we've had a NASDAQ collapse before, and those of you that have muscle memory would definitely remember potentially losing your shirt in some of those. Thankfully, I was just a little wee one then and didn't have to worry about anything. But if it happened right
so much.
Well, yeah, how much money you have in, right? Like if anything collapsed right now, that would be a problem. Let me put it that way. So that's why we're starting to get out a little bit here now. But okay, so just because Google's moving around, we still have that stop now. We're getting lighter and lighter in it as we've now broken through that 25-period moving average and now approaching levels that, you know, I respect a lot. And those are, you know, the 50-period. And again, we did the same sort of thing right here on Google when we got out at this key level. This was another technical out. Like I let it bounce basically through the low of the day there. Once it didn't continue, then I took it out on a 359 break, and that was from up here, 366. So sure, that was $7. We had a little piece left. It wasn't huge, never is. We have a little bit left. But that's that breakout. So I'm trying to do the same thing right here and respect these levels. So I'm actually going to change my stop to now 100% out if it breaks through 360. Because now I have less shares, right? 360 15s. And we can adjust that as it goes. I mean, these lines are going to be forever changing as the market is open. But all right, so that's Google right there making a move down right now. Yeah, I don't know if anything's actually happening in Uber.
No, there is a little bit of a move happening in Uber. Okay. And don't worry, in the chat, you can put a ticker in once or twice. I think if you want to get our attention, you don't have to spam. Just go like at me or at Sean, and this is the easier way to do it instead of putting the same thing in 20 to 25 times. You don't have to. It just makes it easier. And I'm saying that just for everybody's sake. Uber breaking VWAP, not on tremendous volume here. Like you're seeing a bit of a volume spike. It's not rapid enough that it has me thinking anything crazy is happening on Uber. It could just be something a little bit technical, would be my guess. Don't see a story. Light volume follow through, but there might be something brewing. Maybe someone has wind of something which hasn't fully disseminated. That would potentially be my guess. Someone just asked, oh, Adara, anything? Nothing?
Social media even. We've got one post from 3 minutes ago, one from 8 minutes ago. Oh, sorry.
That's all good. We'll get the mic on and go right back.
Apologies, guys. There's nothing Uber, much like there was nothing on my mic there, which was my own fault. 3 minutes ago, there was a post. 8 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago. If there was something like serious on social media, we should see things every minute or every couple seconds. That's not the case with Uber. Probably nothing massive.
I mean, guys, it's pretty obvious. Like, I mean, when you don't get, we just did that sort of breakout thing. When you don't get the volume into a move, I mean, there's volume there. Someone bought it. I mean, you know, you can't just move a stock without doing it. But like, you know, you're still under volume. That was here at 10:15. You know, so that's just another key indicator, you know, of what you're looking for potentially when and if there's news hitting. And I don't know if there's, I mean, you guys give me an example if there was anything midday where news all of a sudden spiked. And we, you know, obviously when you're looking at smaller stocks, you know what, NVTS, things like that, Navitas, you're going to get huge volume off the open because of where it is. But now, you know, there's a nice volume profile, right? And there's a spike higher at the end, top of the day, and then move back in. Probably not news related again, right? But that's kind of stuff that you're trying to find. And, you know, thanks for asking. As Neil said, man, always put your information in the chat because we don't know. And you might be early on a news story.
What if there was a
That's
news
the other
story?
thing, right? Like, what if news story drops right now and you're like, what the, you know, how did I predict that, right? Okay, so we're getting up closer and closer here.
I see you, Dr. Shuttle.
To Google breaking. I'm gonna put another bid out there. We take an 85, Phil, and I just don't know. I mean, the market's trying to bounce off here. If anything, I was thinking about a long in this area. Would have liked it to be up here before we even think about a short. You know, playing the market in a little bit of light volume. We're almost at the lightest volume we've been at all day right now in the last hour. So I generally don't like shorting. Or going against what the trend's been here. On the day, we're down, so I guess that's enough to confuse me. But at the end of it all, I don't think I want to short until we're at even up here. And then I don't really have the technicals that I'm looking for in order to short anything. So, yeah, a little bit of something to worry about.
There's something that is at a technical that could let me short. SMCI is at VWAP, down 6%.
Ooh, I like SMCI.
Trend off the bottom and into the volume weighted average price. The example Sean gave for the breakout, of course, which is the best thing about those lessons, not to go back to the lessons, but it was a good lesson. So I'm gonna go back to it. Is when you look at things on different time frames, right? Like it's like you could apply what you learn about the breakout on the daily to the 3-minute, to the 15-minute, to the weekly, to the monthly. The concepts are all the same. And like what you'd call that in like mathematics would be like it's fractal, right? It applies over, it's the same pattern can be applied over different levels. There's some really cool stuff with fractals if you want to get really, really nerdy about it. Anyways, I'm not going to bother. I find Mandelbrot and fractals cool stuff, but no one's going to agree with me. You'll just be like, what's this nerd talking about? So anyways, SMCI, close enough to VWAP. See the consolidation, see the trend up, see a bit of a trend break. So short it, break VWAP, get out. Look for a bit of a pullback in this bad boy. We're going to go back up to Adara.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. I want to talk here about the implied earnings moves today because, ironically, I think the two most hotly anticipated names have by far the lowest expected moves. You've got Broadcom here, smallest expected move, and it's not even close, although it is close, I guess, to the next smallest name here. 8.8% Broadcom expected move. CrowdStrike, which I find often can exceed the expected move here, 8.9%. So both of these here, double-digit expected moves. They're actually the only sub-double-digit expected moves here because everything else is above 10%. You've got 5 below here. We're expecting 11.9% either direction here, 4 or 5 below. You've got 19.3% expected move on ChargePoint. Viva here tends to be a pretty big mover. You've got a 14.2 expected move there. And C3AI, the man, the myth, the legend here with a 14.7% expected move. If you guys are interested in a earnings preview for ChargePoint, let me know. I already have them available for CrowdStrike, AVGO, and C3AI. Just tag me in the chat or just type into the chat. I'll hopefully be able to see it. Before I let you go, I also want to mention here the Uber situation again, because I saw some people mentioning in the chat, Uber employees going over their spending cap, so they had to basically cap the spending there. That was an earlier story from, I believe, last night. There was also another story from earlier today on UBER, and that Uber story involved the company announcing that their people department, or rather I think it was reported at that point, still not sure if it's confirmed, but their people department / human resources, new president, they're going to be cutting 23% of their workforce under that new leadership. So 2 stories for Uber, both of them older, neither of them moving the stock at the time, and I have not seen anything since. Also hearing, guys, on GOOGL, apparently they closed that sale. That was actually oversubscribed. So people very interested there in that GOOGL situation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. We just had the graphic up, obviously.
I have it up right here.
Earnings, so I'm just gonna.
We're gonna do a poll right now. So we've got. I mean, there's really only 1 name, 2 names, 3 names. I mean, you could put 5 below if people want to do research.
I guess.
5. I don't know if
just
people want to do that. Neil's gonna throw up. Which one do you want to buy tonight?
This might be like 70%.
I would think that Broadcom. I mean, I don't want to. Hinder everybody's voting or anything.
I'm gonna see if I can jury manager this.
And I also want people to notice that, if you go over here to Trader TV Research, I mean, it's at Trader TV, at TTV Research, right? This is actually Adara's page that she manages for us. And I mean, all the content on here is, curated by her. And, you could see here, just looking, this is pretty awesome because you get to see all of the earnings that are coming through over the week and then even key economic data. I mean, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's initial jobless claims, honestly, at 8:30. That should move the market, and then non-farm payrolls. And today we had, the ADP employment, and we saw some moves off of that as well. And then here's all the earnings. And then if you dig down deeper as well, by the way, DocuSign I think could be okay. OVO and Lululemon reporting at the same time there as well. I'd go long on OVO with all those records being smashed. But anyways, that's that. So that would be it. And then, if you dig deeper, and this is what I just want to show you, that it's not just like a one-hit wonder. There's actually now, we have the earnings ratios, and then there's the timing of when to expect it all. And, TBA for C3AI.
I was going to say, too, because I was talking to Ramin about this off camera.
Oh, we don't know what time?
On June 5th, which is this Friday, it will be the 1-year anniversary of that crazy day where Elon Musk and President Trump engaged in a Twitter feud / breakup that moved the market. So in honor of the 1-year anniversary of that date, expect some content on X at TTV Research. I love doing random, weird,
you're kidding,
deep into the annals of the market type stuff. And, I'm lucky enough to have the memory I have where I can kind of come up with some random info. If you guys ever have anything you're interested in, please just let me know on the chat, because I always want to make different kinds of content.
No, but I think you can even go another level. Don't let her know on the chat. Go over to her page and respond to something. Or, at
post.
Trader TV, get the algorithm going.
Just find the latest post and respond to that. Yeah. And there will be many of them. The only thing I want you guys to respond to, and hopefully I'm trying a little experiment here. We put 4 names in there. We'll throw 5 below in there just so it's not the only 3. And remember, when we do the poll, which one are you buying?
I'm buying 2.
You're getting it right now. You got to buy, it's like, what would you buy right now that is reporting tonight? Number 1 for CrowdStrike, 2 for 5 below, 3 for C3AI, 4 for Broadcom, and let's see how many people are voting for up in this bad boy. I think we're going to get a lot of those. We'll see. I mean, CrowdStrike has been pretty, aggressive to the upside. Most people are probably like, what the heck does C3AI even do? So they're going to get some sympathy votes. I think what will happen is everyone's going to see, maybe they just like the color green, or they think it's just a cool acronym, or they feel sorry for C3AI. So as I'm saying this, they're literally not getting any sympathy votes. 1 vote, 50 votes, already 68% or 67% for Broadcom. Not a big surprise. You can't choose who's reporting. I can't make it up. These are the guys that are reporting tonight. 1 vote for, I should have voted for C3AI out of sympathy.
I voted for 5 below. And I'll tell you why, because honestly, Broadcom, so NVIDIA had the greatest report in the history of NVIDIA's reports. And just as far as numbers-wise, I mean, obviously back in November of 24, whatever it was, when they first started to go crazy, when they went from something like a projection of $25 million to like $125 million, and they blew it right out. I mean, those numbers are light, but whatever it was there. I just wonder about where it's come from. So Broadcom, I feel like, has already had that breakout, and could it continue to go further? Of course it could. So there is a good opportunity for that to continue. I think if the answer was maybe which name would you like to maybe invest in or be in the next 6 months, maybe it would be Broadcom. But I don't want to sleep on what some of these retail names can do. And I don't know enough about 5 below. I mean, other than, you know, like shopping there. It's been, every time we go into the States, my daughter loves to go there. There's some pretty cool things there, and you get them real cheap. So I was just looking at this and actually thinking this is actually pretty nice, holding the 50-period moving average right now. Nice uptrend right there. Potential to be up 10%, yeah. You know, I think we can get up to that 240, 250 area, and whether or not it pulls back from there, whether or not it keeps going, I don't know. But this just looks like there's an opportunity there, and we've seen some decent reports. And today you get, and this is why I talked so importantly about Walmart yesterday, you know, when we were talking about it, that you are going to get moves to the downside where now it's time to rotate out of certain names and into others. So if 5 below, retail side, and that's why I was saying to you guys about Lululemon, I'm going to choose Lulu tomorrow, whatever the thing is as well, because I think that, and again, this could be a kitchen sink type of thing here, where they just say, you know what, we are absolute dumpster fire, but I think that's already been happening. So I would look to see if Lulu can somehow surprise and get back up to the upside. Now, I don't, like I said, I'm not buying calls or anything like that everything's going to be super expensive. But when you're looking at a stock, I mean, this stock is beat up. Maybe Lululemon is not something I'll vote on tomorrow. I mean, this is definitely to the downside. I wish it was more, had broken above and maybe holding the 50 period. Lululemon might be in a world all by itself, to be honest with you. Despite my undergarments, this is a downside move right now for Lululemon. And that is actually breaching that level is very likely there tomorrow. So actually take that back.
What is the absolute, hold on, I'm going to go
I don't think Lululemon's going to be beating anything except for
3 months.
shareholders over the head with some fish or something, because that is a big one to the downside.
Kicking
I still
him in the
own
butt.
I still own a little bit of, oh, there it is. Why does everyone say Ruru Remen? Where was that from? I don't know.
Oh, it's probably, it must be some.
I think maybe some meme or something like that.
It has to be like some kind of weird meme or like a TikTok video. Because I've heard that too, but I've never actually seen or heard where that's from. You know what? There's actually more room. Yeah, wow. I guess it looks worse than, like I actually thought maybe this had closed in this gap from this breakout, but this broke out back in 2017 at like $75, $75 to $80 was the big parabolic break. So you're at like last support from there to see potentially that, like that 75. I think that could be the level. If we lose here, then there's something there at 75, and maybe the valuation will be a little bit better at that particular point. So, maybe the last, I don't know if this will be the last go of it, but mostly every single pop, if I've been sitting down at the desk, I've been shorting pops and IBIT, but it finally took out one of the highs. Like make a high, short it. Make a high, short it. Make a high, this time it broke it. I don't want to say I'm done with it, but like at some point, if we continue to go higher, like I look over at the NASDAQ, here, like that's trying to bounce off VWAP and go. Like you're starting to see some signs of strength coming back in for the afternoon. We already talked about Tesla there. So you don't want to be fighting it too much. Like SMCI, looking for like that scalp trade into like morning support, just trying to grab the bid, then trying to grab that morning area support. The idea being, you could slap a trend line on that if you wanted to, but I'd just say the VWAP or the first bid back into this 46.5. We're going to try to grab. But that's ugly. It's ugly on Lululemon, but given how far it's pulled back, I'm a little bit surprised it isn't closer to where it broke out from 10 years ago. Still got a little bit of room to the downside. And it's not like they're alone. Like Nike's been trashed too. Like it's not like Nike's been fantastic.
No.
You know, like we can single them out, but look at the Nike chart. Outside of holding $42, it's not doing anything. If this loses 42 on sympathy, this could be an interesting sympathy play. Like, what if Lululemon has a bad night tomorrow night and drags Nike down with it, and then maybe you get a bit of a bounce play off this support at 42? That could be something to watch out for. Look for it get dragged down on sympathy, bounce off a key triple bottom. But I guess that's more of a Friday trade because it's not like Lulu reports tonight. Let's go up to Adara at the screen. I see some charts. Ooh.
You do indeed, Neil. For today's segment that I will, I guess, tentatively name To the Chart Window, To the Wall, because I can't think of a better name for it. We're going to take a look here at CrowdStrike and how they performed last year ahead of their earnings. So CrowdStrike is a fiscal year ahead, much like the likes of Marvell and NVIDIA. They're about to report Q1 2027 after the bell tonight. I do have a pretty comprehensive earnings preview graphic available on X at TTV Research for what we're expecting from tonight and what we did last quarter, but I thought it might be fun to look back at this visual as well to see how we did each quarter of last year in 4 key metrics. So we'll start here with revenue. You've got steady sequential growth here for each of these quarters, but what about year-over-year growth? I can show you how we grew year-over-year in both overall, which is going to be the red, and then each of the segments. Now, what's pretty interesting here is, and fellow cybersecurity company Palo Alto actually looked like this as well. You've got pretty consistent growth for each of the segments. You don't have one segment that's growing a lot, one segment that's dropping. They're all pretty balanced, which is kind of an interesting look. Now, if you move over here to this quarter, the annual recurring revenue, this is also growing sequentially. Now, subscription gross margin, pretty steady. Slight sequential growth specifically in Q3 and Q4. Let's see if this continues. But yeah, I think maybe cracking 80% subscription gross margin could be on watch. If we break below that 77% level, though, that we saw this time last quarter, or this time last year rather, could be a bit iffy. You can find this infographic pinged to my new CrowdStrike earnings preview on X at TTV Research. This was today's segment of To the Chart Window, To the Wall. Back to you.
That was vastly different.
Yeah, it's different. It looks a little bit different on the wall there. It's funny because that owl stock that I was talking about is actually a stock that I've been buying this whole time. I'm changing my vote to IoT Samsara. It's not even on. I didn't even realize that's what that was. I asked Dara, I was like, well, what is that name? She's like, it's Samsara. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, they report. So I like this stock. This is, yeah, I know. I didn't realize who it was until the end of the day there. But I've been secretly buying some of this, and secretly, I mean, talking about it almost all the time here. IoT. So I like Samsara. Bought a little bit on the dip. I'm long basically right into here. So I just checked on my account. Relatively flat right now on the trade, up just a little bit, but didn't buy a whole bunch during this dip. Should have maybe got a little bit more excited into there. They just reached a major milestone their last quarter. They actually turned GAAP profit. So really like Samsara. They're a big subscription model. What they do is data. So obviously we saw what Snowflake did on that one, and they have peer-to-peer, end-to-end data. So they have the dashboards and anything, transportation, various methods of gathering data for companies and then analyzing it in the background. So that's what Samsara is doing. And I was just reading, delivers 8 times ROI right now per organization is what they're going around and trying to sell for their businesses. So yeah, let them manage your freight and your shipping and your expectations there, managing people and whatnot. And Samsara with IoT, Internet of Things. We'll see what winds up happening there. So this is a name that I like, and I actually meant to look up the short float. The reason why I liked it was because of that quarter over quarter. All right, market cap $21 billion. When moon, we ask, whenever we see that. Short float of just 12% right now, so there is an opportunity for this to get going. And when we go through the, where is it? It's not key data. I was trying to look to see. Oh, market events, I think is where it will be under there. Oh, yeah. So here we go right here. So GAAP profitabilities. Look at these revenue growths. 25%, 30%, 30%, 30%, 28%. So a little less their last quarter right there, but you can see here estimated EPS all turning upside right now. 11, 11, 12, 15, 18 on the EPS. And then here's, they don't have the GAAP over here. But yeah, it's starting to turn profits. Surprise of 40% last quarter. So we'll see what winds up happening here with Samsara tonight at 4 o'clock. So confirmed, wait a minute, earnings confirmed tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
June 4th after market close.
I just double checked.
Oh, you know why? It's because it was on the Lululemon one. So I'll vote for it tomorrow on IoT.
Because they had me a trip of like, wait a minute, I would have put that on the poll if it was there. But yeah, tomorrow's, I think tomorrow's is not that.
That's right. I was like, I'm going to take Lululemon. I'm not.
Yeah, Rubric, Planet. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for earnings, I think, tonight, because ultimately it might just be about, okay, like what do we, like if C3AI, I don't want to say something like if C3AI isn't down 20%, because I don't know, like maybe, but if these guys, like again, this is a business almost on what no one actually understands what they do. But what I would say about them is like if these guys miss if they miss on anything and it's not 20% down, I'd be a little surprised. Like this sucker's gonna move.
Oh yeah. What was the average? 14%?
Yeah, I want to say 14. I'd have to double check because I was on the wrong thing on Adara's.
While you do that,
Yeah, it is 14. Yeah, just under 15%. I could see if they miss on like revenue, let's just say significantly, or if they guide poorly, 20% seems perfectly reasonable to the downside. Like this sucker has been single digits for most of this year, so it's okay being a hat size. I can see that again.
I just want to show you the importance of, and again, we can reference Brian Shannon or just reference ourselves, to be honest with you. And that is like, this is why I feel like it's important to do something like this. You know, like there's the stop out, you know, on a level that, and we were getting nervous about it, wasn't breaking higher, broke through, it wasn't breaking lower, broke through, and there's the out. So as we were talking about all those plays, I didn't even realize that I got punched out or I would have talked about it. But there it is, out right there. And I mean, I realized it, but didn't realize how far it went up actually after that. So, and then it basically shot the moon. So when we got stopped out right there, this is where you get that FOMO. And I've been stopped out before and then said, it's the wrong one. And then we buy it back, or we go short again, we short again. And now it goes down and we're like, we made the right decision. But then look what happens, right? So sometimes you got to follow your rules. And that's what I was saying about whether or not you're swing trading, whether or not you're doing trading like we're doing right now. You know, if you don't follow the rules, then you get burned. And yesterday we had a similar situation on Google where we got out at the top, and it was literally the price that I wrote down to short, and then it just tanked in. And we made some money back in the afternoon, but there you go. Just a little bit of a lesson there of making sure you always stop out, even when the stop out doesn't feel right, if it's your plan. And that's why I said the 25, the 50, the 75%, the 100% option. Make sure you do get out of a little bit. I'm trying to also look at RSIs and stuff, so I might put it up on here. I have, you know, just an RSI basically chart right here that I'm trying to find out, you know, when stocks are a little bit, this is 5 below still, but when stocks are overbought or oversold. So even if I type into here and I type in Google, this is from eSignal, you know, you're still in the middle. There's not much going on. This was, you know, look at that short at 925. You can see right here, that was the short that we wound up having when we touched the 70 marker. So we're gonna use RSI a little bit more to find out for things that are overbought and oversold, but I've never been a RSI guy. I need to find out. See, this is where I looked out. You see, I was just about to say I need to find a position. Don't really need to do that, but I know that there's a lot of you guys are looking for us to put something on sometimes. Neil has something, and I'm going to just look around for something. And if I find it, I'll always try to tell you this is a trade where I'm putting 1 unit on, or 2 units. I like it a lot, or half a unit, or something. So based on, you know, the structure of the trade is what's going to help me do that. And this was another example earlier, and then I'll pass over to Neil, but like IREN, you know, we broke down 67 as a buy. You know, once it was coming in like that and broke through 67 and we already made our money, I didn't want to average it in and then get hit to the downside, so we didn't do that. So I got stopped out, and then it was like, oh man, like, you know, went right back up. And then look though, just because we went short, we went long, doesn't mean because we're out, we could have flipped over into the short there, and then that would have brought us a little bit of cash that way as well. So yeah, just trade your book and make sure you're on top of everything.
Capote just asked me what's going on with Boeing today. The same disappointment with defense. I think there's been some weakness in defense names for some aerospace defense names for the last couple of days, and now unfortunately, Boeing's again is just going to have to wait. It's lost to 250 again. It just lost support at 215, and I'm shaking my head over it because like this is one that. Let me just throw the monthly chart up there so I can complete the thought. This is one that has been structured for a pretty big breakout on the monthly chart for quite some time. And every time I think it's close to, hey, you're putting in the higher lows, we're going to take this out, we're going to break that 260, and then this thing's going to fly, pun intended. I really do mean that pun because it works. It's just, it can't seem to get going past the 250 level. And once again, on the lower time frame, we're just going to continue to have to wait because this is a stock where, to me, it's either if I'm not buying it in the 150s to the 160s and 70s, like down in here, then I want it when it's breaking out. And it's a weird thing to say that I'd prefer to buy it breaking out 280 than I would here in the middle at 210. But that's kind of the structure of Boeing. And I sold some Boeing shares like a while ago with the intention of, you know, well, we're going to get down here again. It hasn't happened, or we're going to break out. And like neither one of those things have happened for the last 2 years. So I really hope it's the breakout trade for anyone that happens to be into Boeing. It kind of sucks. But you know what? Maybe it's probably everybody. Like what's GE Aerospace doing? My guess is they're not having the best day either. GE Aerospace been pulling back. They're a great stock too here, and they've been pulling back the last couple of days. This is not some isolated, oh, let's stick it to Boeing kind of moment for the last couple of sessions. It's just that GE pulls back for a couple of days, and it's such a good-looking chart that you're not worried about it. Boeing pulls back for a couple of days, and you're like, oh no, not again. Is the feeling I always get with them. Hey, at least they're better than Disney. That's all I could say for it. So I mean, we got to VWAP, and it holds a lower high, and we're very slowly coming down, but this market is, the volume, obviously, volumes aren't gonna be the same every single afternoon as they are in the morning, but to say that it's distinctly different, my goodness, in the time that we've talked to you, for this to maybe give you 15 pennies, the Qs have really started to slow down as well. Looked like they were breaking out. Now we're just sort of hugging VWAP. Nothing is going crazy. There was that one random move in Uber, and not much follow through, not much volume on it either. But yeah, don't want to overtrade. If I find something that gets into get that VWAP trade where you're in here, it breaks VWAP, you get out, that kind of a thing is fine. But not going to try to force anything. Super chat from Big Scalp. We've got Big Scalp in the house. Why not? Meta bounce back or relief rally for potential reshort?
Short. Potential re-short.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be reshort. You know what? When it takes the 200, I'll feel better. Because you've been buying, the 600 level for almost the entire year has been, okay, that's a spot where it tries to go. And look what keeps happening when it's breaking the 200 period. There was one distinct break, and then a big time flush after that would have been on earnings. A big break on earnings, which does it count? Because the second they had the earnings, they sold it off after. So does that really count as a breakout? And every other time we see the 200 period, no good. So I feel as if when we're holding above the 200 period moving average on its own, I'll believe in Meta as breaking some kind of a weakness or relatively weak trend here. Accumulation at 600 has been fine, but that's giving you 10% every single time. And the time it takes you to go 10%, there's 50 other tech stocks, maybe not 50, but you know what I mean. There's a bunch of other tech stocks that are doing way more than that. So Meta's still a dog for me. I bought it once this year, and I haven't talked myself into buying it again, and I'm way underweight on this one relative to the other tech names. I just like them all. And then what happens is, even if I wanted to, then Google looks better at the moment, or Amazon looks better at the moment, or NVIDIA looks better at the moment. And that's maybe part of Meta's problem too. Maybe everyone else has that same feeling. It's just wow, I like everything else better.
Yeah, I was going to say, just for a trade potential idea, and then we'll get this through, Andre, but Oracle right there at VWAP. So right now, if you're looking for a potential short, down now 5% is Oracle. So, might be a move to the downside. And I should have actually, instead of just talking about Google, it almost came to VWAP there where we could have reshorted it, and I think we would have. I just missed it there. Last time it did break above VWAP, I probably would have put on. So for this kind of a trade at the end of the day, I don't ever want to have more than basically 2 units. In the morning, I'll have 3 to 5 units on most of the trades. These are bigger ones, but into the afternoon, kind of a little bit less. So definitely would have took one at VWAP and probably one on these breaks, and then use that as the high. So that could be dangerous. Like I said, shorting something during a dull market, especially with limited volume. But right now, it looks like we are breaking on the TQs. I mean, maybe the right trade is to short the NASDAQ. Look at Tesla. Tesla's actually setting up pretty sweet too, man. I mean, a lot of lines underneath here. That would have been good. I mean, maybe you would have waited for VWAP. We didn't need to. The 1 minute chart. This is what this is. Some people are asking what time frame I'm on. 1 minute. Here goes Tesla to the downside. And a lot of these charts that I'm showing you are related to momentum and volatility. And right now, volatility, of course, creates movement. And for sophisticated traders, movement creates what we like to say, opportunity. And Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs. These are built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. There are triple levered bull and triple levered bear ETFs, all related to the NASDAQ, similar to the TQQs. And in fact, that is their symbol, TQQ. This gives you daily exposure and momentum to engage in these exact moves. The strategies are currency hedged, seeking to offset US and dollar exposure back to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves, both up and down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for your individual strategies, objectives, and risk profile. Trade tactically, and please learn more at betapro.ca and make sure it fits your trading portfolio. And there it is. Scan that QR code right there and get some more information about Beta Pro. Let's have a quick look. I mean, yesterday we spent some time and I was trying to talk about it, and I thought I got my point across pretty decently there about Walmart and why you might want to look at a stock like that. And today it's up 3%. No idea that was going to happen. And if anything, I would have maybe thought wait for a little bit lower. But sometimes you're going to get some of these good names. And we talk about Home Depot, Walmart, that are just going to go to the upside. And that's why we look at a 5 below and say, hey, maybe some of these. Oh, good. It's nice to see Target there as well, 125. So today is going to be a little bit of a retail story. Obviously, Amazon gets the big piece of the pie there. And we know the retail side of that is very strong. And with Prime Day coming on the 23rd, maybe it's a sell the news situation. Prime Day doesn't really feel like it is what it used to be. All right, we always talk about tech names right here. Process industries, right? A lot of green names going on over here. Archer Daniels, nice little chart for them as well. They're reporting, oh, look, next earning in 55 days. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize it would say that. Their CF Industries down here as well. Not a bad name to hold on to, 63 days. So we're well through earnings here as many of these names start pumping out. Consumer non-durables, we talked a little bit about Lululemon there. That's going to be more of the retail side of things as well, but they're stuck right there, Lululemon. As consumer right here, I don't know, we're going to get some jobs reports in the next couple of days. So I could see, if anything, this might be telling a story of decent protection of jobs. But remember, as we get more and more nervous, are you spending that $100 on a pair of pants at Lululemon? Or are you spending, where the heck is Nike, that 150 or whatever on a pair of shoes? By the way, my kid showed me yesterday that his Yeezys now have a hole in them, so I've got to go out and buy some more. Thank God I don't think they make those anymore, so I won't have to spend that on it. He's just wearing my shoes, actually. Can't believe I have a 14-year-old that wears size 14. It's ridiculous. All right, NVIDIA, Apple as well, downside today. There's Dell finally getting a little bit of a kickback to the low side there for Dell, so we'll have to wait out for that. And look what names are still going
down.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, it's going down. Western Digital is going up today, another 4%. Intel, I thought, was a little struggle bus lately, but they're up 4%. Cisco up 65% on the year right now as that continues to make moves, right? We sit here and I was talking about some of those picks that we had made. There's so many names that are up so huge that, we really kind of struggled on some of those picks. But that's what's going on there. All right, since then, it's basically the financials that are continuing to get hit, man. We got the news today that Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are both potentially involved in Anthropic's IPO, as they are with SpaceX, as they are with OpenAI. So it's not even a story that Adara reported because it's not an important one. We know that they were going to get it, but still signifies the importance of these two names for sure. Yeah. I think it was even the morning or midday. But what I was getting at was just the fact that it's not a story in a way that, what else is new type of thing. It just more solidifies the fact that, these are the ones that you want to be on. If you're going to trade some major bank names and maybe hold them, we like the value that JPM is representing right now for sure. But look at Morgan Stanley, man. It's like 10 straight up days there for Morgan. Today's day will be red, it looks like. So that might be coming to an end. But right there, it's Goldman Sachs. It's all of this. So look at what's happening to these stocks right now that have momentum under them. And then you want to find a name that, is just as well run. I mean, we all talk about Jamie Dimon and, the success that he's had at JP Morgan and what value he's added to shareholders. Well, this does not look like the rest of them. So just trying to go for a little bit of a nap right now is JP Morgan, with hopefully back to the upside. I don't know if you can tell, this is the largest bank position that I have, JP Morgan, and I like the stock. So we'll have to wait to see if it can get going here off its bottoms. That is JP Morgan, and oh boy, man, Google
More
really.
than Canadian?
Oh, Canadian banks? I haven't bought Canadian banks in so long, man. Like, that was something I used to do when I was a wee one, and then I was like, let's go all into tech.
Do you know what happened? The reason I own so many Canadian banks.
Oh, you own a lot of them?
No. The reason I have percentage-wise so much of them is because they have the dividend, and then just constantly reinvest, reinvesting, the drip. After years, it's just like it's inevitably a big part of the portfolio without buying it. It's the same thing with Enbridge. It's just like the things that I bought first when I was younger. They just I just have so much of them that I haven't bought Enbridge in forever. I haven't bought CIBC in I couldn't even tell.
That's what I'm saying.
The only Canadian bank I bought somewhat recently was when our buddy worked at TD Bank. I'm going to buy some TD Bank shares. My boy's there. They got a good dividend. Well, you know what? When our friend left the bank, it was a nice little boost that I held through. It was pretty good. It caught a nice. No, it had nothing to do with him leaving the bank. Although we busted his balls about it over and over again. There's a couple of early looks here on the imbalance locator. You might have guessed QSR is one of them. It's only 3 o'clock, but already over 1 million. QSR is only done 2 million shares on the day, and it's got a 3 o'clock 1.2 million to sell. CRM's got an early look 1 million to sell. The others, BAC, CNQ, Kenview, those types probably don't matter. They'll pair off. And then Firefly is an upweight tonight. I think it's being either added or upweighted if it's not in the Russell 2000, it's being added, and if it is, it's being upweighted. I don't remember which. So Firefly, that's aerospace, not there's two, there's neurosciences. But Firefly Aerospace, that was a recent IPO. Supposed to be 1.2 million to the buy side. It's kind of weak. If it's a NASDAQ, so you won't know till 350. Like there's no early look for NASDAQ stocks. So this would be more along the lines of, hey, maybe just set a breakout stop close to 350, and if it comes out a buy, try to take the long. Not the most liquidity there on Firefly, unfortunately. What else we got going on? I don't know.
I traded Marvell earlier. Marvell's going to be a good stock today.
It's rejecting.
We were long and short, and we were looking at 3 bills on the sticky note today, and it just bounced pretty much off of it. I mean, and this is the other thing I was going to tell you. When a stock is moving the way Marvell does and some of these other high flyers, you can't just stop out in 50 cents or anything like that. You got to, if you like 300, you should be willing to hold the 298 or something, right? It's going to wick down. Some of the spreads alone on these things are absolutely ridiculous. So you got to be careful. That's 40 cents right now as a spread. So it could just wick down. One person decides to sell, and next thing you know, this is at 305.50, and then that person's done, and then in 1 more minute later, you're at 306.50, back to the upside again. So watch out if you're doing that. I was going to say 300 might be something. We've really found some bottoms down there. I went long early, and like I said, there's the dropout once we broke through, and then I went short on that. So it broke through 300, and I went short, was able to make it back, short again, and then stopped out, and we haven't looked at it since, and it's really trying to respect VWAP up here at 310. This is not a name that I'm going to short, man. Up 5.5% today. I'll say pass on that short, but it looks like we have a super chat.
We got David Z Siamese. Oil prices drop fast. If forbid they go below 85, forbid, I think, we don't want oil prices to come down. Most people kind of want them to get down below 85. Fasten your seatbelts. The resilient stocks today may be the actual best dip buys. Just 2 cents. Let's go 5. Broadcom, Marvell, Alphabet. I think that is something you want to look for on weekdays when there's a lot of stuff correcting. What holds up? I was surprised that ARM held up today. Right? That kind of defied some expectations for me. I expected it would have gone down. You can make the you keep in mind the gap fill because it filled in the gap, but held up some support on Marvell. AMD actually held up pretty. That actually held up pretty good, 3.5% for AMD. There are some signs of strength. When you see all these big cap tech stocks, they're just absolutely getting smoked. You do want to find where the bid has been pretty secure and you haven't been making fresh lows. You find that relative strength and it can be a good thing. I hope we get oil back down, prices back down. Ultimately, I think that that'll be a good sign, man. Get the Fed not worried about inflation so much. You have that happen, and I think people can calm down when we stop talking about year-end rate hikes, and at least when you get that off the table, people will feel a little bit better as rates start to come down, or at least not the threat of going up, and then we can start talking about them coming down maybe next year. But that needs to happen first. I want oil prices to come down. I don't care whether I've just recently bought, CVX a couple months ago. Whatever. I'd still rather oil prices down.
Yeah, oil prices should spark a little bit of a movement in the market. My oil is in the energy space and being charged up downstairs, actually full car again. Right, they were lucky enough to have a charger downstairs, so I just plug it in and it's all good. Before we went off, I said, what about XOM? Oracle here at VWAP. Yeah, that's a fake dollar club right there, because if you took it, you'd be in it. So for anybody that did, there's your dollar right there on Oracle falling off of VWAP again. So it broke through, and like I said, you wouldn't have, I don't, stop myself out until we break, key levels around a key indicator. So for me, VWAP, there could be no level more key than VWAP. So right into there, would have used this as our stop, so 50 cents. So it would have been a tough trade for sure to make, and that's what we're saying. When there's not a little bit of a lack of volume, you get a little bit of a move down like that, I think it's worth taking regardless. Even if you're by yourself, whatever, man, dinner tonight on a trade, that sometimes is worth it just to get in and out of those trades. All right, so that's that. A move that can happen at the end of the day is always Tesla. So that's had actually a pretty good move as well from 425. Look, we almost got to VWAP there, which is why it's kind of on my mind. And I also said I didn't mind the short setup right there coming into play for Tesla. So this is something that you may want to look at if it does come through. I mean, here's another chart to look. Tesla bouncing off the 200 period and the 25 period. Kind of, I feel cherry picking, like I'm looking at nothing that important right here of 422, but maybe there's some sort of a level there. But again, we just ran into Ford, like we didn't even go down 50 cents off of that. So might not really be worth it as it's trying to turn green today as well for Tesla. So maybe you guys need to put some more symbols. Lays, I mean, I'm just looking at this from this morning. 207 million shares. So this is actually looking like a decent short as well. Right now underneath VWAP, trying to get a little lower right now on Lays. And I apologize if anybody is long this name, but the long does not look that great. And I'm talking too much. I'm getting a headache.
NVTS maybe? Navitas was a big runner today.
Yeah, we looked at that. Now it's doing nothing. If anything, breaking that bottom maybe.
No, like the locator is, not the locator. Not the locator, the visualizer.
Stock visualizer.
There it is, the stock visualizer. Probably should be resetting it. We should always give it a fresh start in the afternoon, I feel.
Yeah.
Like that should always be the way to go. You just re-vote, man. We're into power hour now. We have about 30 minutes until the imbalances come in, so just go $, whatever it might be. Maybe I don't know, CrowdStrike's the first thing that comes to mind, not because I think it's moving right now, but because they're reporting tonight. So I just, as an example, typed in Crowd. We're gonna get Broadcom. Obviously, they also report. Ford. The first to get 2 votes, Randy's gone, is Ford. And as the votes start to come in, yeah, why not? Like, that's the kind of thing we can look at. Uh-oh, Ford. What? Ford's allowed to go down as well? Oh, okay. It's been 3 days in a row.
Ford is not allowed. Oh, yeah, I exited out of some Ford. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe this pulls right back into some prior, so this prior high at 14.5, this prior high at 14.5. That seems like an interesting bounce zone for Ford. You're like a day, based on how it's moved the last couple of days, you're a day or two away from potential bounce on an upward trend. Why not? And Dan McIsaac says his long-dated puts on Ford are paying as it starts to pull back in. Yeah, Ford and GM been just fine. Both of these names lately. And I'm assuming this has like a 3-day pullback as well, pullback into some prior highs. Wow, GM, that's a pretty good bounce off the 200-period moving average. You can't buy everything. You can't. Although this, you know what I feel about, over the years, you end up owning, sometimes, maybe it's just not everybody, but you end up owning a lot of things where you just have I still have a position in this thing that I bought years and years ago, and do I still love it? This is a good example. If this loses the 200-period moving average, I could just sell this one for good. I never quite sell out of everything, but whatever. That's like when you won't throw out stuff around the house, and it's just kind of silly. Yeah, I feel like if this loses the 200-period, why not just get out of all of it? If it's going to do that on the daily chart, and then if I really like it and the market falls apart, then you have a little extra powder to get to. Let's go over to Adara at the desk.
Iranian state media reporting that Iran has targeted a U.S. military ship hosting a control and command center which approached the Iranian territorial waters in the Gulf of Oman. Now, again, guys, it's Iranian state media. Just be aware. Not even seeing which outlet reported this, but either way here it is circulating that Iran is claiming to have attacked a U.S. military ship which hosted a control and command center and approached the Gulf of Oman. Back to you.
Appreciate it, Adair. And again, not nothing too crazy happening in U.S. So look how quiet even oil futures are going to be. I get it, they closed at 230. So you get less volatility typically, but you get even a small headline, and we're not really doing much with it at all. Tesla ripped, somebody just said.
I think that Christopher just put something important in the chat.
Oh, we just got a super chat. Yes, absolutely. And Christopher, PDT rule changes tomorrow. It's going to be a ride. Now, from my understanding, we don't have it here in Canada, so like we don't have to worry about it. But my understanding is not every single broker is going to have the same. Like, I don't know if everybody is going to be able to get past it right away. So just check with your broker is all I would say. But I think that's fantastic. It'd be nice to see Robinhood bounce on there. Damn sure ain't it certainly isn't bouncing today. Down 5% or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, I think it's one of those things where it's like buy the rumor, sell the news. Like I don't expect like any crazy things to start happening all of a sudden tomorrow. Like, oh my God, I can trade freely. If anything, I think it's going to be more about, you know, adjusting to the new rules and seeing how you can benefit from that. Traders always, you know, being intuitive and thinking about how to take advantage of the next little thing. So I would think that it might take a couple months before it really starts to affect stocks, but you're definitely onto something with mentioning that, because like a stock like this Lays, or something that's doing 30%, 100% in a day, you know, it's going to create some more opportunities to get in and out. Like if you can only make, what was it, a few trades, 3 or 4 trades, whatever it was. Was that crickets?
That's exactly what I heard. I heard crickets.
Was that you, Andre?
I'm not.
Oh, someone's pushing some wheels around here. So we have Michael in front of us. Randy's over here. My boy Chester's over there now. So yeah, that's crickets. Yeah. I was like, I know we're boring, but I didn't realize we're that boring. So, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, and there's another point, right? More dumb money incoming, and I just saw someone put that in the chat there, and I think that you're right. And it's not to say dumb money as in.
I never watched.
You know,
I should watch that.
You never watched that movie?
No, I never.
Oh my God,
I just never watched it. Yeah, I should watch.
I remember watching that. I told the story. I watched it with the Citadel guys. That was quite funny. Anyways, yeah, and I think you might be right, Showtime. It just means that there's a little bit more retail money coming in. You could see a potential extension in some names, you know, like a BlackBerry or, you know, we didn't even look at today that much.
Nokia.
I wrote down Oh my God, I wrote down GameStop at 22. It doesn't really matter. It's not really moving around that much, but this was again another name that was on the sticky note. And, you know, it's just, if we ever got back into like that meme sort of craziness day, and I don't ever want to think that we're going to get back to a COVID situation. I mean, knock on wood, I don't actually know what's going to happen, but if that ever does happen, that's when I think the PDT rule would just be absolutely insane to see what winds up happening there. And now I'm not, you know, the changes now, it has something to do with the margin and all this kind of stuff that you have, where there's be some sort of an equation that'll be able to tell if you're locked out or not, or you can continue to go on. So maybe we'll get Adara to do a little reporting on the PDT rule and what exactly to expect for that, because it is June the 4th. Absolutely. Where that's the first day that a lot of these brokers can apply those changes. So I would say, and again, here in Canada, we don't have any experience with this, but your brokers probably sent you out like a little, you know, cheat sheet of what this means for you.
Yeah, they should have been. You should get it.
Definitely.
How could they not?
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know. How could she slap? You know, I don't know how she could slap.
How can she slap me?
And look at that move for Google. Ugh. So right there again, right? Like that's something that I always put on the tweets. Ugh. And it's just like, missed an opportunity there, man. We got covered, and we wanted to short VWAP again, and just kind of got lazy with that analysis there, and could have hit that short and didn't. So my bad on that one. We should have been short there. Or Oracle.
Actually, Mr. Duggett has a better example. Go to your broker's website. Of course, it would just.
Yeah. Or
it's on the website.
Maybe just type in cheat sheet or something.
What's his name? Yeah,
Ryan Cohen.
GME, Ryan Cohen. It's always on the website. Just always
on the website.
That's exactly where it's going to be. Pops Mafia says I never make that many trades in a week. So hey, there you go. You don't have to worry about it. But a lot of people complain about. Trust me when I tell you the thing in 2020, the amount of complaints that you would see over the PDT rule was astronomical. Exactly. It's just like that's all anybody would do. It's like, I've used up my trades for the week, and now I can't do anything.
I'm locked up.
I'm locked up. Like it was.
You got locked up.
Won't let me out. So anyways, like SMCI went VWAP to target, which was basically this 46.5. It just went 47 and 46.5 and crawled there. It took a half an hour to give you that like 45-cent move, which is wild how low the volumes are this afternoon. But Delmont, here's a good one. You see if you add us, see how easy it is to see it. Are not concerned over that exit happening on Marvell. Today, volume beats yesterday, but no movement. Are you not concerned?
Yeah, I mean, I was concerned. That's why I put the money in the pocket, so that doesn't wind up happening. I sold some Marvell today.
I get concerned over stuff like that all the time. Like I don't like for example, I don't own Marvell. I was concerned with ARM today and ended up making what I mean 2 hours later looks like a bad decision, but whatever. Like that sort of is what it is. When I was looking at I looked at this dip after the last couple of days. I sort of see it hold at 400, hold at 400. This felt different. And then we're back in here. I was like, you're not gonna fool me. This one feels like that afternoon support. We hung underneath that. I know it's breaking down. We should be taking it out. So I sold my 200s, still hold the core position, and of course it blasts higher. But I think for all of the stocks that have gone parabolic, I don't care whether it's Dell, Marvell, SNDK, ARM, there's a million that I'm going to be forgetting. You're not alone. You're just like, I don't care. Like, you're not alone in thinking this has gone way too far, too fast. Like, the level of acceleration in these types of stocks recently has been nothing short of absurd. Like, you're talking about these stocks, which it seemed like they were already on a big run, and then they double up in half the time, less than half the time it took them for the latest double. And the previous double looked like it was really fast. And then the next double comes like in half that time. And that's on a multitude of stocks that we're seeing this happen. So it feels like there's a lot of things that are a little bit outstretched. And like I said, no one ever went broke taking profits. Sam, can Apple break the all-time high before WWDC? What do you mean, like tomorrow? Like Apple has made an all-time high like 5 times in the last 8 days, probably. Something approximate. I just kind of guessed at that by looking at the daily chart. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in however many days this is. Apple has made an all-time high. So can it? Absolutely it can. Like just because it looks like a rejection today, Apple hasn't done anything too threatening yet. I'm not saying it can't break this trend, but Apple has been, and we said this before, has been on the most awesomely boring trend to higher of all of these stocks. And that's just the way we should all like it. You want Apple to be doing this. I don't want Apple to be doing these stupid, parabolic, nonsensical things so that you overcomplicate what you think about the stock. Well, let it just do the normal, boring, going up stuff that it does. So you can just sit there and hold it and feel.
Yeah, I mean, small dividend.
Yeah, small dividend reinvest. You're always constantly buying it that way. Like, why not?
Joey Dividend over there was excited about
Joey
NVIDIA's dividend.
What dividend?
It went from 1 cent to 25 cents.
I don't have if I had like a magnifying glass, I could look.
I mean, if you own thousands and thousands of shares like Joe does of NVIDIA, then 25 cents every quarter. I mean, it adds up.
Over enough years, I guess investing it back can do.
Yeah.
But it's like
you could sneeze in it.
Drip, no, but drip is way better for like the things that you own that pay 2 to 4%.
Oh, I'm just playing around.
Like that's what
I don't think NVIDIA I don't think qualifies for drip.
No, because it's too small.
So small.
It's way
yeah,
it's too small.
I don't think
that
it's,
that matters. Compounding is great, but compounding matters when you're paying a real dividend for better.
Yeah, they announced those dividends for the bigger shareholders. Like we already talked about the fact that
Warren Buffett.
Well, yeah, and the owners of it themselves. It's like they do a favor to Jensen. They do a favor to some guy named Zuckerberg, who now makes $700 million a year in dividends.
It's not for us, man.
So even if Meta goes down to $1, this guy's making $700 million a year just on dividends. Now, if it goes down to $1, we won't be able to pay the dividend. But at the end of the day, that's how it works. So it's a little bit of a pat on the back.
If it goes down to $1, we don't have an earth to live on.
Major shareholders. Where it gets advantages of that. All right, USO's closed, right? I mean, not USO's closed, sorry. Oil at NYMEX closed, but not before another decent day, man. Up 2.5% there goes oil. I mean, Sands, which is like not really any news today. I mean, there's always something going on in Iran or in the oil patch. We did have oil inventories at 10:30. Didn't really see too much spikes happening over there. There it is right here when it hit. And not much going on, if anything, downside. So I guess there was probably a little bit more in a supply than they thought, creating a downside price movement, but then bought right back up, bouncing nicely off VWAP. I actually can't wait for the days, again, that we can look at oil and maybe trade it technically rather than be so nervous about what's happening in the global landscape where you get blown out of your shorts out of no problem, or your longs. Silver downside. Silver to me is interesting because it's that industrial metal here. Obviously, we have to watch it against the US dollar. We talked about US dollar a little bit today as well, but that's now underneath, and I want to buy this at 200 period moving average. So I think I should put a setup at some point here for a bid in and around $61 coming through for SLV. I think that would be a decent opportunity to trade through that as well. All right, we have that stock visualizer. I don't know if there's anything else hitting that you guys want us to talk about.
There it is.
We refreshed it, but it's the same things on there. I don't know. We didn't look at Iris. Oh, it only refreshes for us.
No, but it's still, Broadcom is still.
Oh, here, use this one then.
Use this one.
Neil has one.
Broadcom is still.
Well, that makes
one.
sense because it's
Apple
earnings.
too. That makes sense. And Tesla. This didn't really do much for us. I don't know why it's Nokia is not flat on the day.
Well, I don't know if maybe the percentage.
Oh, the price even says 0. Nokia is one we haven't looked at. Marvell, of course, we have XOS. I guess I don't know why that says 0. Talking about Navitas, 4 we mentioned. Netflix has been a bit of a dog. Nokia, is that doing anything? Nah. Nokia was having a good, like the last couple of sessions, it was good longs on, that'd be the beginning of the week, so on Monday, on Tuesday, of course. Today, nice bounce play. If you just took it off of that 16.5 support, that could be something. Prior high, support, maybe a double bottom action on Nokia in either direction tomorrow. That could be a little bit of something, but nothing too crazy popping off.
Let's go find out how much I like the Spurs. Let's go find out where the money is right here. Let's go find out how much it's going to cost me to get into this tonight. So $1,000, row 11, right there up top. Where is 201? Okay, not great. I'd like to sit. Okay, so here we go. Here's a good price here. Oh, this is Canadian dollars. Actually,
yeah,
San Antonio. This is a lot cheaper than it would be here in Toronto. I'll tell you that much right now.
Wait till it gets to New York, though. I mean,
oh no, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm showing you some examples right here. So a cheap ticket about 1,000 Canadian. So you're talking about probably 750 or so. Can I change this to USDs? We have more US. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, oh here it is. CAD. Let's go to South African Rand. Okay, yeah, let's just keep it CAD for now. All right, so there it is. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to find out here. Joe doesn't want to sit up top. Are you crazy? So he wants courtside tickets. So I'm gonna assume this is it right there, 27,000. Yeah, courtside, row 2. Was that what CC means? I don't know, maybe. That's probably one of the most expensive tickets on here. I'm pretty sure if I unclick this, then we can go back, and then now I can just sort by price.
There you go.
Sort by price. So here we go. Now we'll see that. We'll see the most expensive. Hold on a second. What did I do wrong there? I want to get sort by. All right. I did sort by price, but maybe I have to go like this. How do I
refresh?
Yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. All right. So that's what's going on right there. Now I'm going to go over and see what it's like for game 1 here in the square. So let's go over to Madison Square Gardens and figure what's going on there. So here we go, man. Somewhat equivalent tickets here. 10 grand to sit up top, Joey Options. You better give me some options plays right now. That's what's going on in Madison Square Gardens. Of course, this is Monday, June the 8th. So it's not even like it's a weekend game or anything like that. Monday. Look where it is in the lower bowl, man. You want to talk about pent-up demand right here. 14,000, 80,000. I did here. There it is. Here it is right here. So there's something down here. This is 12D, row A, 141,000 Canadian dollars right there to sit. This is your view. I'll take, oops, what did I do? Yeah, 10 minutes up to complete. Okay, here we go. I better get out of this before my credit card all of a sudden hits. No, but I was going to say, same zone. I'll buy this for a couple rows back, maybe row 3 instead of row A. But there it is, man. I don't even know if A is courtside, but $141,000. So, we want to talk about where people are maybe spending their money. Buy a few shares of NVIDIA and maybe don't play in that. But, that stuff is for people that are outside of my comfort zone there, but that's what it's looking like now for tickets. What a difference, man, between New York and San Antonio. And of course, San Antonio's won multiple championships in the last couple of decades, and the New York Knicks have not, and that's what it's all about. You saw the pent-up demand with the Jays.
There was some I forget who the athlete was, but there was a professional, I think it was a football player. I don't remember who it was, but maybe not like the top superstar, and they were complaining about how pricey the tickets were in New York. I mean, because no, but
you have the money, buy it.
But at $100 grand, I'll tell you this right now. Like if you're, let's just say you're a mid-level NBA player, or like say football.
Yeah.
You football. Like say, because that's a short career. You're a football player, mid-tier, some linebacker making $2.2 million a year. That ticket ain't for you. Like seriously, that's $100 grand. If you make
100 grand means
with what your agent gets, with whatever your 5-year career, that's for people that were the
$2.2 million is not.
That's not a lot. That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
That does price out even like some legit professional athletes.
Yeah.
Now you Tom Brady, you're
Tom
Patrick
Brady.
Mahomes. That's a different
I
level.
mean, those guys they can buy the team.
Can
I mean,
Spike
it's not
Lee
a matter-
afford? No, but
Yes, man.
Spike Lee is Spike Lee worth? Well, Spike Lee's not worth as much
Neil,
money as you think.
It doesn't matter. These guys are season ticket holders.
No, he is season ticket holder. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
saying,
like
but like
you.
at 100
Like,
grand.
you're in at such a low price.
I could never have gone. I wouldn't have gone to the Jays as the pro. I would have gone to like 1 or 2 during the playoffs. Well, okay, fine, like maybe a few, and would have gone to like 1 World Series game as a bucket list thing. But at the prices people were shelling out, even as a crazy fan, like, it was stupidity,
Oh yeah,
dude.
But it's experience.
It is an experience, Adair.
I was saying, can you imagine like Spike if the Knicks win? It's gonna be crazy. Like, he's
The
gonna
city.
He's gonna be so happy. Go Spike Lee.
Yeah.
I also want to mention quickly here, TMC moving higher. The New York Times reporting that the U.S. is poised to issue the world's first commercial deep sea mining permits, which could potentially fast track the metal company's ocean floor mineral project. As such, the metals company moving higher. Back to you.
You didn't make that.
I mean, I just want to say, like, no one's that 104. Like, to sit courtside is something special, you know?
Jack
Like,
Nicholson.
I just feel like if you're a Knicks fan and you have the money, like, I'm sure there's people that I know that are going to be going to those games, and it's just like you pay the price because that's the opportunity to see that, right? I mean, we saw the Taylor Swift sort of craziness that had happened for that, and your team might not get another chance to do that. So I think it's definitely worth it if you can afford it. But there's definitely, that's for the different kind of style of lifestyle in that, if that's what you're doing. So, but anyways, yeah, Spike Lee and then Ben Stiller, all those guys right there courtside. Tracy Morgan is my guy, so we'll see him courtside today as well. We love some Tracy Morgan in my family.
That is like, there's some dudes like the second you picture them, you say the name and then you picture like maybe a joke or just like facial expression, and immediately you just want to start laughing. That dude is just too funny. The BAC, I kind of wrote that off, but that imbalance has grown by a couple mil. It's now sitting at 5 million, and this has been growing with only 15 minutes to go. QSR is still about $1.2 million. CRM is still $1 million to the sell side. Both these are the same. NCLH is a $1 million. I think it was Dan McIsaac was asking me, when are we when are the cruise lines a trade again? Like you can find trades. Like look, if you're like let's say you're trading NCLH today. I don't know that there was a catalyst for NCLH, but you could have been looking at the open, looking at hold VWAP. There's a breakout trade. That went 2%. Breakout, pretty clean, it looks like. I don't know why NCLH was doing this today, but it did, and it went 2% up. So there was something there. There's almost always something to trade if it's your cup of tea. And I guess at the same time CCL did. I think you're more talking from a daily. When do they get exciting again? Maybe you end this war. I know that's the chalk answer, but you're basically sitting in a range. It's not breaking. Since the war started, you haven't broken any lows, but you also haven't broken out any tops. So I suppose we're waiting for something a little more definitive for things to open up, pun intended, on CCL, NCLH, and some of those. Otherwise, you can boringly wait for it to get down to the support level that's been holding. You can buy it there. You can take whatever it gives you into this 200 period. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like a range-bound trade sometimes gives you like easy structured opportunities. So boring for now, but they won't stay that way forever. Once the straights open up, these start moving again. And unfortunately, don't assume that means that they move up. Because they could sell the news, and this could be like the greatest flat bottom break ever. Like that could also happen.
I was debating going on some, and maybe doing a cruise, but I don't know. The wife doesn't really want to do it. I don't know. If anything, I would go
it's
like.
Apparently good with the family, like for kids and stuff. That's what I keep hearing.
My kids are 15 and 14 and 12. I don't.
Yeah, they're old enough to do that.
They're old enough to do their own thing, but I think there's some value in cruises. I just don't know.
I keep seeing those videos of people that get left when they.
When they dock.
When they're late, they dock, and I don't know why.
There's videos of people getting left.
YouTube sends. I never watched one of these. No one ever sent me one of these, and all of a sudden they start showing up in my feed, and then you watch it, and I don't know why I find it like amusing. I'm a person that's always on time, though. Like, if the boat leaves me without my stuff, you think I'm late to that dock? I'm early.
Yeah, no.
Like, what are we playing with here? Hell
That's
to
like
the no.
That's like a pet peeve of my wife. Like,
Not me.
If we have to be an hour before games or 45 minutes before practices, we're there. Like if we're even if we're driving, and you know how you guys on the map, it's like, oh, your arrival time is like right on time. It's like, what are you doing? We gotta go. And I was like, what the hell? Like, and then we get there and there's like nothing happening. It's like, okay. But anyways, yeah, to each their own.
trying to miss that.
Punctual is very important. I definitely.
I saw one that would,
believe in that.
but like their kids, like it was a mother, and somehow the kids were on the boat,
What?
and the mother was on the dock by herself. I'm like, okay, first of all, there's some serious questions about that one. But anyways,
I don't know if I'll go on a cruise. If anything, maybe a Viking cruise or something like that. Definitely not CCL, man. Marissa watched that poop cruise. Where I'm not going. We're never doing that.
Right?
That's been
I'm saying.
That's been
Nope.
squashed. All right, cruises are a good way of spending money, I guess. They're not super, one of the best values for vacations. But if you are a trader here at Real Trading, the reason why we spend that money is let's talk about some real numbers right now. And this is why it's very important. We talk about, sitting here at Real Trading and the opportunities that we have to trade various markets. There's over 60 live markets here at Real Trading. So, take advantage of that if you do get an opportunity to, and sign up for a prop firm. Go to realtrading.com. There it is right now. Blue Ocean, $20,000 yesterday. So we go bang, bang, and then we go cash cow. Someone made some bank on that yesterday.
You can't look.
I think it might have been Marvell
It
or
was,
something,
well,
yesterday. But
I'm going to say yes. Look at what it was doing. The chart.
Okay. What is it doing?
Well, it's
Just going higher?
no. If you look at this is like the overnight, like late at night, right?
Go
So holds VWAP, but then look at when it breaks out here. I talked to some people that I know trade, and I don't think the person I know wouldn't be that Blue Ocean because they trade multiple markets. But like this was apparently like a really good momentum trade. It breaking this high, like 325, and then it goes clean into 340. It trades like normal, and with less. Look, you don't have all the crazy dark pools and all the algos and all the other stuff to contend with. So people take advantage of it. There is. It's just not to the same extent.
Games being played there. Yeah, but anyways, there's Blue Ocean. There's AMEX. So someone trading on the AMEX there yesterday as well put up some numbers. So congratulations to those guys there. And there's another Blue Ocean. So I would say these guys probably part of the same office or trading together. New York and NASDAQ there, another AMEX. So there you go. Could be SPY, silver. It's anything with a .am on our platform. You guys know SOXL. Could be that as well. And here's what Neil mentioned, multiple markets. If you see multiple markets on here, it doesn't mean that all this money was made divided by those markets, just somewhere in there. So the same person that traded AMEX also traded New York and NASDAQ. These are all different traders, by the way, right? So, and then, bringing up the rear, which is a great one, $8,000 on the NASDAQ New York, and that's our 10th best. Right there. These are all the different markets that we have, and you can see, I'll just start right here. Hong Kong futures, Milan, LSE Australia. It goes lower. Madrid, CSE, pink sheets there. Hong Kong, Turkish market. Somebody's over there getting transplants. Might as well trade it when you're over there. There's TSX. There's Canada, TSX, New York, AMEX, and Blue Ocean.
Mine's working out just fine.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right there. So SLV, another name there in the AMEX. That could have been someone traded. That were some value, but yeah, so that's what we're doing here and having a lot of fun doing it. Those are the numbers from Real Trading.
Ooh, like it. Easy peasy.
I like
did the
it a
same
lot.
play on SNDK, different day. There's nothing better than when the same stock gives you the same trade. Like the reverse on Marvell this morning, earlier, that's what it's all about. Sometimes you just have to. You can't fight stocks forever. That's how you get in trouble. Easy peasy. Every day,
I'll show you these.
We always seem to get it. I'm going to let you throw it up there.
It's not even that great of a trade. I just wanted to show you guys that we were defending Marvell at 300 because, again, at the beginning of the day, I said it is likely that we did get a flush today. I just felt that there was something going on. I mean, look at the pre-market. There's the moves down. It's not always, exactly what's about to happen. But then when it came in, we got stopped out. We took a little bit of profit there, on it. We're like, okay, maybe we are going to hold. But then when it didn't hold, here's the flush, and in the same minute, there's the reverse short. I was just like, I'm playing this momentum to the downside. So these are 302s, and then we got out 300 break. And then I went short. So we'll lose about 250 or so on the trade there. And then, you know, when it came back in, used the same amount of shares again, and there was the blowout down to 294, 295, and then started taking profits. There's $2 right into there, and just started taking a little bit of profit as we went, right, on that. So you got to be careful. Then it blows to the upside. I tried to go short again. There's my stop out on the short. Then we found some top wicks in and around that 305. Then we went short again and able to capture more profit on that before stopping out for flat. So back and forth with Marvell today. So that's what I did. If you guys were wondering about that easy peasy, I wanted to say thank you so much for that. And you guys are trading SNDK. Let's have a quick little look at what SanDisk. Wow, 1850. I don't think I'm ever going to throw. I should have dated this thing. I can go back and find when it was, but this is when Joe and I made our picks there. Meta was at 681. SanDisk was at 1039. Google was at 350, and Amazon was at 262. So just to show you how wild some of these plays are, SanDisk. That was a month ago when we wrote this down, man. Now it's up 80% from there. Like, what are we even doing not owning these names? But anyways, SanDisk, huge move to the upside. Like, it just gave you, like, just on that move down, that was 1,300. You know, welcome to like 60% higher or something on that move rate, to 40% maybe, on that move rate there alone. You know, and that was in 2 weeks, you're up 50%. There on SanDisk. So, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. There's the most recent dip buy, and there it is back up to the upside. Yeah, 35%. Sorry, I said 40%. Right there on that recent move higher there on SanDisk. So, you know, great job, easy peasy. And I don't know if you're trading with options or what, but it's a pretty violent mover, that's for sure. Spread right now, $2.
Well, we appreciate the super chat, Blinky Spears. $4.99. You get courtside seats to my daughter's baseball game for $4.99. Sure. I mean, it's free, but for $5, we appreciate the super chat. Yeah, well, I mean, courtside ticket. We were having fun with that. Obviously, yeah, great experience, but I don't think anybody's going to courtside tonight. I feel like it's.
Well, you can't say Antonio, just a couple grand.
Yeah, San Antonio's more reasonable. Maybe in 5, 6. I want to say I'll be cheering for the Knicks, but like my brain's telling me that Wemby's gonna be tough, and Castle's been sick. Like that kid can play, man. He can play some serious defense too. So, yeah, I'm kind of.
They have Harper.
I just don't know if it's 5 or 6. That's like the fact that they even have Harper Jr. is not even a key player for them yet. You got to be kidding.
What do you want to pull for?
That team is legit.
No.
Oh, come on,
Everyone's going to.
Everyone's gonna.
Joe
buy
wants to ask
shares.
if people buying shares are going courtside. I don't think so. We're just having fun about this. Like, obviously, realistically,
No one's going courtside.
Those are for like the uber crazy rich, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, am I traveling?
That's for Drake.
Like economy or whatever. Yeah, exactly. That is literally for Drake.
It's
yeah.
Drake, man.
Like, those are the things. Like,
He'll
are
be
you
there.
flying private
Probably.
jet to Cancun, or my ass is on, you know, Air Canada, whatever the, you know, cheapest flight is, right? I'm choosing the
Rouge?
cheapest flight.
Is that what they call it?
Well, yeah, Rouge, yeah, or Jazz. I think they call
Is
Air
it?
Canada Jazz, Air Canada Rouge.
Is that them?
Anyways, yeah.
I know Rouge.
I might pay a little extra for that extra leg room, you know what I'm saying?
No,
but
get an exit row.
Yeah. It's funny because my kids, like when we're booking the holidays, they're like, "Oh, are we sitting business class?" I'm like, "Hell no! What do you mean, are we sitting business class?" Like, first of all, if anybody's sitting business class,
that's what I'm saying. You got
it's my wife.
You got business class money?
This ain't. My wife doesn't have business class money either, but she's sitting business class, and I'd be sitting in the back, the very back row with you kids, man. We're sitting business class in that one. But yeah, no, all kidding aside, never sitting. I've sat there a couple times, but you know, at the end of the day.
Okay, every now and then you might want to treat yourself. You know what? So, by the way, Uber actually has continued moving here. It's not a lot. There has not been much going on in the market. I suppose there might be more to Uber has gone green on the day. It's bounced VWAP. I would at least watch out for a potential imbalance with this. We still only have BAC, CNQ, QSR, like all the names that we've been mentioning before. But yeah, Uber, probably the best. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the best final hour it's had in the day since ever?
Since Friday.
No, Friday?
I don't know.
No, this didn't.
Doesn't even look like that good of a final hour. to be honest with you.
Uber dumped on Friday.
Yeah. So if you're short.
On the window, yeah, okay. On the window dressing, that was one of the names that dumped at the end of the day. Not as bad. Like NVIDIA and Intel got like rugged because they were like 30 million imbalances. But Uber was one of those that took it on the chin. But much like NVIDIA, the things that dumped on Friday, a lot of them, if it was gapped higher, they ended up being just huge relief rallies. NVIDIA, same thing. See the dump, and then once it was through that high, so see, here's a trade, and I don't know. You go back and you look to see if this happened other times where you get like outsized quarter end moves on the rebalances. Happen to be MSCI, but maybe it happens S&P rebalancing too. And then the following day, find something that had that dump or I guess had that bump up and look for like the reversal. So it's at the same level, breaks out from where it was, and maybe it's some pressure relief. There could be a lot of reasons why it could do that break. But that can be an opportunity for a trade. Like you might not look at it otherwise. And both Uber and NVIDIA had the same pattern. Did Intel? Let's look to see if Intel had that pattern. Well, Intel was so bad that it was gapped down, so I guess it couldn't have done the same thing because it wasn't trading around the same price level. Man, this one really got rugged. Intel was a better flip trade. If I see those again, don't worry about the flip on an NVIDIA when it's so abnormal. Intel on a normal day flips at 355. Like that should have been the one to take the 355 flip on. It was actually pretty clean. Like NVIDIA was like in and out flat. 1 minute ago to the imbalances, as we said.
Set mine up
We have earnings after the bell. It'll be Broadcom, obviously CrowdStrike, and if you care, C3AI, and then 5 below. I'm forgetting somebody. What was the fifth?
What are we talking about? You said 5 below.
5 below, C3AI, CrowdStrike, Broadcom.
Broadcom, that's it. Remember, we were struggling to. Viva is there, and not OVO. They're tomorrow, and of course that's IoT. What are the chances of SPCX not IPOing on June 12th? I don't really know why we haven't gotten more information on it. I heard Joe and Sharif talk about it on the midday. I don't think there's any cause for concern. I've already read that the roadshow, I think, was starting today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
so I'm just asking Gemini this because, you know, people were asking and I heard them talk about it. I think I'm almost 100% that it's going to go next Friday. So join us on Friday, probably around 1 o'clock. And I even thought I heard some pricing today on it as well. I think it was like around. Yeah, 135. Yeah, so that's going to be super cheap. So if it's 135, expect $400 opening print there. I'm not even playing around for SpaceX. All right, so here we go. Open Door, yo.
Hello.
What up, Open Door? How you been, my guy? All right, Open Door. What? Down 10%, not doing well. Door shut today on Open Door. Yeah, was that crickets I just heard there? Yeah, so there it is. FXI with a little bit of a buy. There's the numbers that Adair just put up for you there as well. Apple, Sir Apple, a little bit of a sell there today into that. And this is why we always talk about be careful. Like Apple just rinsed about 80 cents there to the downside. Cisco, man, the name that everybody missed, I feel like. A little bit of a thong song today, down 1%.
Yeah.
Nice move for Cisco, right? I mean, that's been up 70% year to date. Absolutely huge. Walmart, this was a pretty easy short. I feel like at some point it's a nice move to the high side today. We'll see what happens at 5 below. Not that that should matter too much to Walmart, but I feel like it was a really good move. Maybe a sell tomorrow in Walmart, but again, I still like the stock at those levels. We've already sort of talked about that one. Oh, what's up, Marvell? A little bit of a sell in you as well, but with wow. Did anyone, I'm going to call up Marvell here on a daily. Oh, here, we have the volume right here. Wow, I didn't realize that, Marvell. Like, this is a $300 stock doing 100 million shares? Wow, right there.
112 million yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at right here. Yeah, so we got a big one yesterday, matched right here on that day, but I feel like this might have been a sort of a rebalance. Sometimes when there's rebalances, you get like, you saw that NVIDIA trade was like 50 million shares or something on the rebalance.
Silly.
But right into there, so wow. That's kind of a thing, man. I don't like to see huge volume on sell days. I already sold some Marvell today, got out at 25% or so in the swing account, maybe a little bit more. So we'll have to see what happens to Marvell. Still like the stock, but yeah, volume profile, if we're gonna talk about breakouts, that's not great. I mean, you're still up today. We did start the day up 13%, so not great there for Marvell. I exited at 316 exactly. So, thank you. I mean, there you go. Thank you, Andre, for bringing that up. We always want to make sure that we do get it, and there it is, man. Dave, thank you so much for that, man. 20 gifted memberships. Get in there. You got it. There's something about setting up the. You got to set up the feed.
Accept the gifts.
Yeah, in YouTube. So if you just kind of Google that, you'll be able to see it.
And you have to be in the chat. If you're not in the chat, you can't get the membership.
That's $5 each, man. That's $100. That is the best gift for us.
Exactly.
I mean, we really appreciate the actual cash, but that's awesome when you could do that. What's up, Blicky Spears? What's up there? Blicky there. Get it going. You guys are really huge help. Thank you so much. Interactive learning experience. That's what we're talking about. We want to keep that going, and I don't mean to miss this one. Hey, Neil, mind giving your thoughts on Starbucks?
This is an easy one.
You can ask my family to be a buy, but go ahead.
I don't really use Starbucks, but trend broken. You've got from October clean trend, which sets you up closer to the 200 period or the $90 level. And with this trend break, that's where the momentum is headed. You're asking you like a swing there. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I've never owned this stock. I don't think I've ever, outside of day trading, I've never swung it, anything like that. But I see a clean higher low trend line that coincides with the 200 period. Just feels like that kind of a trend break can get you down there. I'm always like a wait and see kind of person. It's got a pretty distinct channel on it. And I don't even know when they report.
They already reported a while ago.
Yeah. Did we get...
right now, all signs point to the IPO moving forward as planned. SpaceX is aggressively targeting that June 12th IPO. So that's what our good friends said there on
be so crazy.
Gemini, aggressively pursuing that date. So I'm assuming that would get there. By August, $5 million for Rigetti is the Wilson Katina Capital. We were about to put a price target on this. I just ruined it for everybody. But no, I mean, honestly, in all honesty, tough to say where it's going to go from here. I mean, August is not that far away, so you could talk about a month and a half or so from here. I would say as long as we hold this 200 period moving average, you just look to the next level here. So I would say aggressively targeted 40, I would think, would be something there if it gets going, right? This is just on that Donald Trump and that government talk there. It went from 15 to 24, so that's 15 to 24, so you're adding $11 onto 15, so that's a 50-60% move there, all the way back up to the upside. So if you get that again on another story, I think you can get back into the 40s. I don't know what's going to do that, but you're going to have one more report from now till August, I would think, for them, and that could be important. I mean, I don't think they're making any money, but just like Mom's spaghetti, you got to be careful not to get it all over your shirt, because Rigetti could easily fall back in as well. Look to IBM for something more safe, but I think when you're doing that kind of math, you got to put a multiple on it. And with these names, man, I have no idea. Like, it's easy to say, Microsoft should be a 20 multiple or 8 multiple or whatever. These names,
the revenue's a few hundred, I don't know, a few hundred grand or a few million.
I mean, if they get more, what they call grants and all that kind of stuff, shout out to anybody named Grant. But if they get more of those from the government, then potentially sparks more upside. But
it's just a momentum, like a prey play. Ian Respeto, Neil, favorite Chappelle quote from the show? Oh, one quote?
I said, unity.
Oh, that's one quote.
Well, a quote is, you want more than just one word.
That's tough.
There was probably some in where he was black white supremacist. There was probably some great lines in that one. Never seen that? You don't know Clayton Bigsby, Adara?
What did you just talk about?
Clayton Bigsby.
Okay,
it's where Chappelle is.
I got one better one, though. There's when the player haters go back in time.
Right, the player hater ball is hilarious.
The player haters go back in time and they go back to slave times. And it's just, if you know, you know. And he just says, how's about nowish? And I won't simulate what happens next, but let's say a little revenge gets taken. That's what, how's about nowish? Anyways, I love the Chappelle.
Or what is it? There's 4 fingers or something in slap.
What do the 5 fingers say?
Yeah, the face. Slap. What do the 5 fingers say to the face?
Or darkness is spreading. That's a good one. Like all the other Charlie Murphy stuff.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. Yeah, darkness. Yeah.
What I love about, to me, honestly, what I love about Chappelle and like a lot of the best comedians is like they just don't give a damn about anything but making you laugh. It's like they'll do anything to get a laugh, which is some of the fun of it. You can find the funny. That's the best. The best people can find the funny out of anything where you wouldn't even think about it. Like
my dad
walked in on me. I was watching episode 1 was the black white supremacist, and I'm watching for the first time. My pops walks in, he's like, what are you watching? And he sits down and watches. I fully expected him to be like, what the hell is this nonsense?
Yeah,
and
but he knows it's like satire.
He was gut laughing. And my pops is a pretty serious dude. And he was gut laughing at that kind of stuff.
But see, that's another example. Like, if you could, like, what happens, God forbid, something happens to Dave Chappelle, doesn't perform anymore. And then you're like, well, why didn't I pay that $1,000 to see him, you know, live? And then that's part of the thing, right? That's when we talk about tickets and experiences. Definitely live your life now. You never know what tomorrow brings. So shout out to everybody that has that mantra in their portfolio. So I think that's very, very important, right? And we always say that, you know, buy something nice, treat yourself. Do something, but don't give your credit card to your 24-year-old when it's taco night, because he's gonna spend $100, and that's exactly
some good tacos, bro.
Damn right. I mean, those tacos were amazing.
Exactly. So
this guy's
where the problem at?
Where the problem at? I told you what the problem's at. I'm like, bro, why are you buying like the finest cut of meat and putting them in these tacos, my guy? And then, anyways, on and on and on and on and on. But we had a great time. Hey, anytime he's cooking, my wife or myself doesn't have to.
Yeah, Baxter.
Yeah, he's
you know
there.
what's up, son.
He knows exactly what's up, man.
He knows
Spending,
what's up.
What do you call it? Other people's money? Yeah, that's really great.
You down with
charge that guy some rent. In a couple
he
minutes.
knows about OPM. He's probably down with OPP.
He's down with a lot of stuff, that guy, man. He's down with a lot of that stuff.
Darren knows.
Yeah, you know me right now. But yeah, Darkness has arrived, and Neil and I, the parents, on the show, if you can tell or not.
You just said pay for the experience. You talk about spending too much money for some good
for tacos?
Because there's some good tacos.
What do you mean pay for the experience? I'm down going to a restaurant and paying for that for some tacos.
What better experience than having gourmet food?
I texted
That's a fantastic sounding experience.
I'm paying for this. The guy didn't even text me back. So yesterday,
Baxter, anytime, if you have me watch, you probably aren't. Anytime you want to spend Sean's money to make me some tacos, I will appreciate it. I'll praise it all day long. Hey, you go spend his money.
Next thing you know, man, this guy's gonna be walking through the door with tacos. You better watch out what you're saying right there. But I was gonna say also, I can't remember what I was going to say now, so that's probably a good thing for everybody. Okay, earnings coming up right now. 30 seconds left before this market winds up closing. We're having a really fun time here today. Broadcom. So Broadcom. If you didn't sell any of your tech stuff, now is the time. Because if Broadcom disappoints, see ya later. Most of the markets are open till, you know, much later. You can still get out of your shares. And CBOE now 415, so options trading through there as well. And the bell's about to ring one more time. We want to thank Beta Pro for their 3 times daily levered ETFs and their sponsorship of the closing bell. Go check it out at betapro.ca. Okay, we are now done. And Broadcom's not out yet. Okay, we'll have to wait to see what one. Oh, 4:15.
And they're quite timely. They're much like NVIDIA and Apple, where they are generally pretty timely.
I would say with a bunch of super chats, we could stay late, but I don't want to say that because people will do that, and I can't stay late today. So thank you, everybody. Join us tomorrow. I have a bunch of stuff happening in my ear right now. A lot of good reports going to come out. We'll watch out for CrowdStrike, which yesterday went to the moon before coming back in. So watch out for similar reaction to their report that maybe Palo Alto had.
Careful.
Both top-tier businesses in the cybersecurity space. So thanks for watching, everybody. We had a great show.
Absolutely. And we get to do it all again tomorrow. Why? Because that's what we do around here. We cover the markets every single day, rain or shine. Yeah. Enjoy yourself, because not only do we have day 2 for CrowdStrike and Broadcom, there's also a couple of IPOs. The 2 good IPOs or decent IPOs are supposed to be tomorrow. But what's our day 1 after earnings? What is it, day 2 for? We'll have day 2 for Marvell.
I was just letting you go.
Every day is day 2 for Marvell. And
no more PDT rule. Ciao.
Oh, that's right. No more PDT rule. Good luck, everybody. Hope that is good for you. And if it's not, that means you never were a problem in the first
You have a game tonight. Good luck.
That's practice. No, practice.
Oh, practice. Okay, then break a leg.
Practice, man.
Practice? We're talking about practice?
We are talking about practice. 9-year-olds' practice is more important than the game.
Go watch season 1, episode 1 of Dave Chappelle, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.
Go Knicks.